Hello everyone, hello, and welcome to the final digital diversity stream for 2019. The music you hear now is the wonderful intro music for the first game we're playing tonight, Warm. This is a kinetic novel that I've had on my list for a little while now, and I am super excited to finally get around to playing it. It's been a big year. It's been a huge year. I've been writing up the roundup for the year about all the games that we've played, about all the things we've talked about, and gosh, it's been a year. It's been twice what 2018 was, let me put it like that. But I'm really proud. I'm really proud of us as a community. I'm proud of all the awesome game developers out there who made stuff. I'm proud of all the awesome people who played these games and shared their love with them with the world. So yeah, I'm in a good space today, and in that good space, we're gonna play through a few visual novels. Because what would digital diversity be without hordes of visual novels? We've got 3 on the cards today because I wanted us to round off to 30 games this year, which is what we'll be at. On the list today, we have Warm, the one that's currently playing. We have Dr. Frank's Build Your Own Boyfriend, or Build a Boyfriend. That one's going to be a lot of fun. And we have Baked Magic, which also looks a lot of fun. Let me just quickly check, make sure we don't have any content warnings or anything to bring up first. All of these games are available on itch.io. They are all there. We'll be switching the links out as we play. But yeah, we're gonna... Hey Jason, how you doing, lovely? It's a pleasure to have you here. Let's see, let me just check. Bring up my great big list. Gosh, the list has gotten big this year. We've got more than 80 games on the list now. 80. Which is still a fraction of what has come out in the last year. So I am very, very excited to see where we go with this and how we go next year. There's a lot of things I'm contemplating coming up to the next year, and we'll see how we go. So, Warm, made by Crispy Cat and Butterfly Latte. Content warnings for this one are bullying and depression. So that's there. So let's see how we go. Let's play a game. Let's have fun and let's feel warm. Let's check the preferences. I love Renpai. I have a sneaking suspicion everything I play tonight is going to be a Renpai game, and you know what? I am totally cool with that because I'm loving it. The more of these games I play, the more I love it. So, let's start. Still, cold air. An expansive white world. An endless cold blue sky. And me, a solitary dot of color lying in the middle of it all. I lie on my back, my arms out, staring silently into the sky. I don't know what I'm looking for up there. Maybe nothing. But I can't take my eyes away. I can't really move or do anything at all. Not because I'm pinned down, but because I just don't feel the need to. I don't want to. Truth be told, I don't even know why I'm here, or why I'm laying down, I should be cold, but all I feel is numbness. I think my body has gotten used to it. I make no effort to get up. I probably should. I'll freeze to death if I stay out here. But even as I think that, I can't bring myself to care. I know I should move, but I can't make my limbs work. This is very feels. I came out of a depression swing just a few days ago, so definite feels. But it's fine. I'm used to this. I don't even feel the cold. Not really. It's all just numbness by this point. My breath floats above me in clouds. If I was looking, I know it'd block out the sun. I know it's only part of the view that changes, just white fog drifting further and further away. I don't know how long I've been here. The changing world, the cold, the lack of real energy. I'm used to it all. It's just how it is. This music, this goddamn music, oh. This music, the art style, the words, it's giving me lots of feels. And yet, again, I can't make myself care. What does it even matter, really? I keep my eyes closed, taking a deep breath through my nostrils and let it out, letting the numbing cold overtake me. My alarm clock beeps cheerfully in my ear. Too cheerfully. I groan and bury my face in my pillow. It keeps beeping. Okay, I'm awake. I'm awake. It's not that I don't like getting up in the morning. I do. I really do. It's just I hate the way my alarm completely decimates the quiet. I'd prefer if I could just wake up quietly, slowly, like birds do, knowing to open their eyes at sunrise. But I can't do that. I've tried. Set my alarm for vibrate once and I just slept through it. Yep. Groaning in irritation again, I sit up and tap the reset button. Blessed silence. I head to the window and open the curtains. Cold morning light hits me all at once, making me squint. Once my eyes adjust, I look down at the streets below. It's still a bit early. Too early for most kids my age to be outside yet. My classmates are all probably still asleep. The early risers are eating breakfast, I bet. Speaking of breakfast, I hear distant clinking of silverware. Dad's awake too. But that's no surprise. He's always gotten up earlier than I have. Come to think of it, I've never figured out when he wakes up exactly. No matter how early I get up, he's there to greet me and wish me a good day at school. When I was younger, I wondered if he even slept. To be honest, sometimes I still wonder. No, these characters are gorgeous. Megumi! Dad looks up as I enter the kitchen. He's standing over the stove, stirring something in a pot. From the smell, I can tell it's rice porridge. Another sniff confirms he's added chocolate to it. Good morning, sweetie. Morning, Dad. I stand on tiptoe to give him a hug, then head to the fridge. Your bento is on the second shelf. Thank you. Sure enough, there it is, a little box wrapped in pink and yellow cloth. Aww. A little cuter than I would like, but Dad bought it for me. I can't say no or buy a plainer cloth, can I? As I pull it out, he keeps talking. I thought you'd like a treat today, so it's fried chicken for your meat. I feel myself smile, despite myself. Thanks, Dad. I close the fridge, adjust my hold on my bento and turn around. I'm off. Huh? Already? Dad puts the wooden spoon in the pot and follows me to the doorway. You meeting someone? No, I'm just hopping out of the school again. I see. That sounds a little hurt. But you're not going without breakfast, are you? You know, breakfast is the most important meal of the day, especially for a girl your age. 7-year-olds need a good meal in the morning. Dad, I'm 11, you know that. He laughs, and I feel some of the guilt that settled over me fade. I'll eat some bread at school, it's fine. But it's supposed to be colder than usual today. I'd rather you have something hot to start your day with. I'll be fine. Just stares at me, chewing on the inside of his cheek, but then he finally speaks again. If you have to leave now, at least take some with you. I wait as he heads back to the kitchen. A moment later he returns with a thermos full of rice porridge, pressing it into my hands. Oh, it's sweet. There. Make sure you eat it before the class starts. You can buy yourself bread, like usual if you want, but make sure you eat this. Despite his smile, his voice is stern. I know he means business. Okay, I will. Seemingly satisfied, kiss at the top of my head, and I slip my shoes and coat on. Have a good day, sweetheart. One of the cats has seen a bird outside the window and they're doing their chirpy sound. It's very sweet. You too. I'm off now. With the door closing behind me, I'm back on my own. The streets are still quiet, stretching out all around. I don't mind though. I like this time of day. It's part of why I get up so early in the first place. A few steps away from my house, I stop and take out the thermos. Even though I don't feel colder than usual, I might as well have a little something in my stomach now. What's the harm? Normally I don't mind waiting until school, but since I go to this trouble, I tilt back the thermos and take a small drink bite of rice porridge. Yeah, what does that count if you if it's a semi-solid? Is it a drink or a bite? It's still hot, so much that I have to open my mouth, let the winter air cool it a bit. As it cools, my breath and the steam's fogging up in front of me, I realize it's pretty good. The chocolate is rich, so I can actually taste it, instead of just adding colour. Some of the chocolate hasn't melted, so there are little pieces in it. Really, spoiling me today. I kinda want rice porridge with chocolate in it now. I chew a bit and swallow, screw the lid back on the thermos, and continue to school. I've always walked to school by myself since the 2nd grade. This is a quiet, safe town, so there's never been any problem there, and it's nice to walk alone too. The quiet is comforting. The emptiness makes me feel like I'm in my own world. It's a nice break before class starts and I have to deal with the noise, bright lights, and I just like this time of day. Benny feels. Feeling like I have my own world instead of being a tiny part of a giant crowded one. It's not that I don't like people. I don't mind them at all. But it's nice to feel like I have a good reason to be alone. It feels better. Better than the alternative. Much in the same way as... What? Why am I writing that? That's better. It's still so early in the day, so I take my time, keeping my steps slow and small. I get to school with plenty of time to spare as usual. I might be the first one here, even before the club goers. Hey! Hey Bayou, how you doing? Not that I know for sure, of course. I never see anyone before I reach the classroom. And even if I did, no one would really want to really talk to me. I step through the gates, Hey, welcome to the Monster Match! Beginning my walk across the grounds. Wait, no! Huh? A girl stands directly in my path, frowning at her cell phone. Oblivious to my presence, she starts swiping her fingertip across the screen. Wait, no! Since she's facing me, she probably was on her way out the gates. Or maybe she got turned around? This music is so pretty, god. It's probably the latter. This is such a small town that everyone knows everyone, and I definitely don't recognize this girl. She must be a transfer. She still doesn't notice me, just chewing on her lip as she taps on her phone. It is, like, the music, the art, like, this is such a beautiful game already. Like, it's a kinetic novel, so this is one where you won't have choice. But this is one of my favorite ways to see storytelling done. Because it is approachable, it is something that you can get to, that you can take at your own rate, and that you can get all these other mediums come in and help. So like, this versus a book, even a picture book, you've got music, you've got tone, you've got atmosphere, things like things you can't just get down on paper. But it's at that rate that you can take at your speed, something that you can't do with a movie. So if you're so excited, almost done with the bulk of your program work for one of the projects I'm on. Ooh, so excited. Was it that way, or oh geez, this is the worst, huh? She finally looks up, her entire being just lights up and she waves me over. Hey, you go to this school, right? Yeah? Do you need help? As class leader, I can't ignore someone in need. It's like being a superhero. I mean, not that I'd ignore her if I weren't class leader. She's clearly lost. Only a jerk wouldn't help. Yeah. The girl shows me her phone. I see a map from the school, clearly emailed by the principal. So I was right. She is a transfer. So I'm trying to get to the principal's office, but I can't get this. She laughs awkwardly. I kinda can't find it. Can you help me? Sure, that's easy. I take the phone from her, zooming in on one part of the map. I point to the doors with my fingertip. So we're here, and the entrance is right in front of us. Really? I tried the door and nothing happened. Oh, that's why she's wandering around outside. She probably thinks there's another way in, like the back. I shake my head. No, this early, only one of the doors is open. You have to open the one farthest on the left. They unlock the rest of them in half an hour. This girl just stares at me, confusion fading. I look back at her phone, gesturing for her to look. When you go through the door, just go down the hall on the left side. You'll find the principal's office about halfway down. Do you need me to walk you there? If she's a transfer, she might want help, right? But the girl just waves her hand at me and takes back her phone. Nope, I think I can find it now. Left hall, and I'll find it easy, right? Thanks. She runs off without waiting for me to respond. I walk after her, watching as she hesitates in front of the doors before finding the leftmost one, as I said. She looks over her shoulder at me once more, waving while grinning broadly before she skips inside. Huh, that was an unusual break from routine. I should have done the polite thing and introduced myself, I realize. But I guess it doesn't matter now. Ah, Shimizu! My teacher, Miss Haruna, looks up from her lesson plans as I walk through the door. Good morning! Ohayou gozaimasu! Good morning, what do you need me to do today? Miss Haruma makes a slight face. Not a lot, but if you could clap the erasers a bit more, it'd be a big help. I don't think Inoue did it hard enough. These sorts of games that are based in Japan or with Japanese language, I'm always trying to get the right pronunciation. I blame so many years of Japanese class for that. I nod and get started. As I grab the eraser and move to an open window, Miss Haruna keeps talking to me. You know, Shimizu, you don't have to do this every day. I'm the class leader. I have responsibilities. Besides, I don't mind helping a bit. I briefly shiver in the cold air that floats into the room and give the erasers a good hard clap. I'm used to it. It's fine. You can still help me without coming in so early. Not that I don't appreciate the help, of course, but Miss Haruna is a relatively new teacher at the school. When we began the school year, our first year of middle school, she shyly explained she'd only been teaching for 2 years before. This was her 3rd year. Since she's so young, it sometimes feels like she's our teacher and more like our older sister. Or a really young aunt. She's a great teacher. I like her. So I offer my help as part of my responsibilities as class leader. It's a win-win situation, really. She gets to help the class before class. Gets my help before class starts, and I get some extra peace and quiet. It's not that I hate my classmates or anything, it's just I actually did the exact same sort of thing when I was in school. Like, to get away from all the kids, I used to go and help in the classroom. So I'm having a lot of familiar feels right now. I give the eraser another hard clap, sending chalk dust into the air. It's just that it's easier to be by yourself when you're alone than when you're in a crowded room. It's fine though, I'm used to it. I just learned to enjoy the peace and quiet. I've clapped the erasers clean, polished a few desks, and made copies for tomorrow's math quiz when the first students start to filter in. Miss Haruna excuses herself for a bit and I head back to my desk. I take the opportunity to finish my rice porridge. The thermos has kept it hot, but it's cooled enough so I can eat it without burning myself. Everyone starts talking at their desks, gossiping and double-checking homework with one another, grabbing pencil cases. I keep to myself. Staying at my desk even when the breakfast is finished, all I do is take out my homework and look over it. This music. I'm gonna see if I can get this soundtrack. I'm gonna need this soundtrack. Like, I don't know about you, but I need to talk with the makers about getting the soundtrack for this, because this is amazing. Seems like the kind of music I could get a lot of shit done to. The voices wash over me like a gentle wave, white noise. That is until... Please, you? I don't know. I look up from my English paper to see a familiar sight. Hey, how you doing, Vorax? Ueda stands by her desk, fidgeting nervously in front of her best friend, Tomomi. Inoue bows and presses her hands together pleadingly. Please, you, I'm begging you, just let me copy your homework. Despite their hushed voices, I can hear them perfectly. Then again, they have nearly the same conversation every day, so maybe I'm just supplying the script to myself. Miss Haruna will find out. We're gonna get in trouble. And wait a minute, why didn't you do it yourself? We only had twin questions and it was open book. Inoue toes at the floor, her head bowed and her hands twisting in a show of sheepishness. I got distracted by pretty soldier sparkles. I thought I'd rewatch the first episode for fun, and before I knew it, I was binging the entire thing. I mean, who hasn't done that with a magical girl anime at some point, right? Who hasn't, like, gone, you know what? One episode of Sailor Moon will be fine. And then next thing they know, they're ripping on Tuxedo Mask for the next 4 hours. No comment? Well, you're here, Boris. That's the important thing. Big love to everyone who's here. You didn't do it because you were watching anime? But that's what happened last time. I swear, I don't do it on purpose. But before I knew it, it was past my bedtime and I hadn't done a single problem. Noa goes back to her begging. So please just let me do this. Aren't you my best friend? Don't you want me to pass? Fuck. Of course I do, but Noa suddenly sniffles. It's loud and obnoxious. Look, I'm sorry I'm such a bad friend, asking you for this all the time. Her voice is quavery, tight as a violin string. She sniffs again. And I understand if you never want to be friends again, but if you could just help me. Wow, that's some social manipulation going on there. Tomomi. Ueda is faltering. I don't not want to be friends. I know you can't ever forgive me. Not after all the times I've asked this, but if just one more time? If you cared about me at all, you'd... Fuck. Wow. I forgot how bad kids are to each other. Like... And yes, this happens with kids. I think the only reason I never went through this was because I never actually had any friends when I was a kid, so... Anyway, I punctuated so please with a tiny sob. I've had enough. This is just irritating. I sat down my homework on top of my desk and stalk over to the girls. Drop this, kick this person into a lake. No, she just needs to write I'll do my homework 100 times. Inoue. I think it's Inoue. Ueda and Inoue look at me in shock. I guess they didn't notice I was here till I spoke up. Ueda flinches a bit, twisting her hands together anxiously. She has the decency to look embarrassed. Inoue just gapes at me like a fish. Her face, her eyes, totally dry. I frown at her. Inoue, leave Ueda alone. You should have done the work yourself. Stop making Ueda do it for you. I don't make her do it for me. She does her own work and then you copy it? Sounds like you have her do all the work to me. Every day since first grade I've had to hear this exchange. You had someone do that to you in elementary school and start threatening not to be your friend. See? People are terrible sometimes. Really, I'm amazed Inoue has made this far into school. But Ueda doesn't deserve this. I have to say something. And stop fake crying. It's annoying and it's not fooling anyone. Sob! Inoue promptly bursts into tears and runs to a corner of the room. Lake time. Ueda hesitates, shifting her feet as she looks from Inoue to me, then to Inoue, then to me. She finally grabs her bag and rushes to the corner to comfort Inoue. I sigh, watching her try to speak to her friend, but Inoue keeps shaking her head, wailing louder into her hands. Ueda tries a few more times to placate her and finally reaches into her school bag, pulling out a piece of paper. She holds it in front of Inoue's covered face and puts her hand on her arm. Inoue immediately uncovers her face and with an audible shout of delight, grabs the paper. I sigh and head back to my seat. There's not a lot I can do, is there? I can talk to her all I want, but in the end, Inoue will just do as she pleases. I can't force her to stop bullying Ueda. So it's not like... Bullying takes on a lot of forms, and that is a perfect example of one of them that happens a lot. This horrible social manipulation. It's like, I won't be your friend if you don't do this for me. Or I'll stop being your friend if you don't do this for me. And it'll be the last time I swear. Just like I swore the last 2 times. That was the last time. And Miss Haruma can't stop her because she doesn't know. Because Inoue is so careful not to do it where Haruma can see. I can't even tell Mr. Haruma about it myself because, well, how would that sound? Someone is cheating and bullying someone, but she only does it when your back is turned? And since Ueda changes her answers just enough from Ueda's, there's no proof that she's cheating either. You get dropped, the people at public school system and the parents. Yeah. Teaching your kids that school's only worth it for the grades is definitely a lake territory. Mr. Haruma can't go up to a student and accuse them of cheating. She'd get into huge trouble. All I can do is keep talking to Inoue when this happens and hope that someday it sticks. I'm starting to doubt it ever will. More students filter in, the noise level steadily increases, and suddenly I hear 2 familiar voices. Hey, Megumi! I look up to see 2 more girls. No, they're so cute. Junko Kotobuki and Amy Fujita stand at my desk. They greet me with bright smiles. Morning! Good morning! Good morning. I'm a bit confused as to why they're talking to me. We were never really that close. My eyes land on the bandage on Kotobuki's face. Kotobuki, did something happen? Huh? Oh, this? She briefly points to the band-aid and shakes her head. No, this is for fashion. I saw it online in the new issue of Pop Berry. Oh god, I remember when that happened. There was in early to mid high school years for me, there was a rapper, I think, that always wore a band-aid over their face. Like, it was just like the thing, and then I used to see like a bunch of the boys turn up to school with band-aids stuck to their faces in that same way. I'm like, okay, you kids be you kids. You just put them on your face like stickers, see? You pretend to be hurt for fashion. Kotobuki laughs. No, it's not pretending to be hurt, it's an accessory. Vegeta pipes up. Like stickers for your face. Yeah, and you can get fun shapes and colors too. That's very Victorian, I must say. You wanna try? I brought a box with me. No. Are you sure? You'd look cute. I am sure. The two exchange looks, smiles fading. They look like they want to say more, but then someone calls out to them. With one more look at me, they drift off and I'm left alone again. Apart from Inoue, Kotobuki and Vegeta have been the other two constants in my school life. All my other classmates have rotated through the years, but somehow those three have always been in a class with me. I think it might be part of why Kotobuki and Vegeta talk to me so familiarly. We've always been in the same class, so in a way, we're friends. Or rather, they talk to me like I'm their friend. That might not be the entire reason though. Up until last year, our last year of elementary school, we only exchanged greetings, but back then, I walked down the hall to the classroom, a stack of papers in my arms. It's a quiz day and the teacher trusted me enough to make copies for him to pass out to us. The class will be starting soon, so I'll have to get them to him as fast as I can. However, as I start to move past the girls' bathroom, hurry, hurry! I pause, hear a familiar voice. Accompanied by the whispered hurry is a crinkle of cellophane, the rustling of tissue paper. That's weird. It's coming from the bathroom too. Give me a drink of your juice. Okay, not all of it, hey? Is someone eating in there? That's gross. I set the papers down on the bench and fling open the door. Kotobuki and Fujita look at me from where they sit on the floor, caught red-handed. A bit literally, in Kotobuki's case, as bean paste spills out of her anpan and into her fingers. Crumpled wrappers lay at their feet, a convenience store bag sits on the floor beside them. It's like a picnic in here. God damn, I miss Japanese 7-Eleven food, convenience store food. The girls just stare at me, food halfway to their mouths. I stare back at them. A whole minute ticks by with nobody saying anything, but I have to ask. What are you two doing? Kotobuki blinks slowly. Eating? Like some kind of trick question? Why are you eating in the bathroom? Kotobuki lowers her snack. It's cleaner than you think? I know the bathrooms are clean. We have good janitors here. That's not my point. Why are you eating in here? Vegeta hums a bit. Well, we were hungry and the bathroom was the closest private place to eat. You could eat in the classroom, you know. No way. Kotobuki sounds horrified. You're working in there. We just make a mess and you have to clean up after us. Even if we did clean the mess ourselves, which we totally would have done, then we'd just be in the way. No, you wouldn't. They'd just be at their desks and that's not in the way at all. Do you eat in the bathroom every day? No. Kotobuki shakes her head. She seems comfortable again because she takes a bite of her food instead of leaving it in midair. But I had to leave early today because Mum had an early shift, so I didn't have time to eat breakfast. So she called me and I brought her some snacks from the convenience store and offered to eat it with her. It's lonely eating by yourself, right? I press my lips together. I eat my lunch alone all the time and I don't feel anything about it. But then, I'm not normal, so... So you stopped by the convenience store and got breakfast? Yep. And decided to eat it in the bathroom. Kotobuki and Fujita seemed to wilt. It seemed like a good idea at the time. I sigh. Even if I don't know them well, it's just wrong to leave them as is. I can't just turn around and leave. Get your food and follow me. Where are we going? Classroom, duh. Huh? You won't be in the way if you stay at your desk and throw your wrappers out yourselves. Besides, I'm almost done, so it won't be any trouble. And I'd feel better having you eat there than here, with all the toilets. Aw, you're really nice, Megumi. Aw. The girls gather their bag and wrappers, jumping to their feet. Feels weird to be called by my first name so suddenly. It's Shimizu. Nah, Megumi feels better now. Thanks, Megumi. After that, they've just been acting so familiarly. I don't know what I did. It was me inviting them to the classroom, talking to them something more than I'll collect homework now. Oh well, doesn't really matter, does it? I finish looking over my work as the bell chimes. Everyone begins to drift to their rightful seat, including Inoue and Ureda. They sit with just one desk between us, so I can hear Inoue talking as she takes her seat. Ueda sits just behind her. How could Shimizu say something so cruel to me? The break in her voice is back, faint but still audible. I can't believe she would be so mean. Right into the lake. Ueda sounds uncomfortable. Inoue just sniffs. She's so mean to us. I'm positive she's doing this on purpose. She knows full well I can hear her. But I say nothing. I don't mind her talking about me. It's just words, and besides, I'm used to it. If I just ignore her, I'll be fine. The bell chimes again, and Miss Haruma returns to stand at the front of the class. And immediately take the lead. We all bow, say our good mornings, and retake our seats. Good morning, everyone. Miss Haruna smiles at us. Before we begin class, I have an announcement to make. The class atmosphere changes. I hear Inoue start whispering to Ueda. I perk up a bit myself. I don't know anything about an announcement. We have a new student joining us today. I remember Miss Haruna leading to the earlier. Was she talking about a new student just outside? Come to think of it, wasn't that girl? You may come in now. The door opens and sure enough, it's her. I blink, a bit surprised by this turn of events. What are the odds that the new girl ends up in class with me? What are the odds that I'm the first student she saw? She smiles, waiting as everyone whispers and stares at her. Hi, my name is Hinata Mikami. Aww. My interests are fashion, candy, and shopping. My mother and I moved here for a more peaceful change of scenery. I've only been here a day and I love it already love it. I hope we can all get along. She bows and everyone claps for her. Miss Haruna gestures to the empty desk between myself and Ueno. You may take a seat next to Shimizu. She's our class leader, so if you need any help, ask her, okay? And enter love interest. I believe this is the love interest. Oh, Mikami's eyes light up as she recognizes me. We've met already. Wait, you have? But Mikami isn't listening. She skips over to her new desk, setting down her school bag and taking her seat. Miss Haruna blinks, clearly taken aback, and the class begins. It's like, surprise! Oh no, I knew them. What? I'm still a little surprised. Really, what are the odds? Well, it depends on how many classes you've got there, right? Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Miss Haruna closes her lesson book and heads for the door. Okay, everyone, lunchtime. See you in a bit. Her voice is barely heard above the noise everyone makes. Chairs are scooted back, desks are shoved together so there's a sound of metal scraping tile. I always hated that sound. Bags open, kids run out of the room to buy bread or convenience lunches while calling out for requests. I stay put, taking out my bento and popping off the lid. I can't help but smile a little when I see my lunch. Dad put in more chicken in it than what's considered usual. An extra treat for the day. I hear the sound of metal and tile again and look up. Mikami is pushing her desk over to Fujita and Kotobuki. There's also a little crowd formed around her already. Our classmates greeting her or asking quick questions before scuttling back to eat. Well, she's certainly popular. Off in the farthest corner of the room, Inoue and Ueda sit at some empty desks with their own food. Inoue is talking away, gesturing so wildly with her fork that I think her salmon croquette is going to go flying. Her bad mood certainly didn't last long. Truthfully, despite the delicious food, this is my least favorite part of the day. Everyone else is gathering together in groups, pairs, or leaving the room with someone, and I sit at my desk, alone island. It's my own fault, though. I've never been too good at conversation or interacting with others. I have nobody to blame but myself, really. God, how many of us felt this exact same way in school? I always think it's easier being alone in the early or late hours of the day, and it's true. The alternative is being alone in a crowd and seeing exactly how alone you really are. So glad you were homeschooled after first grade. Yeah. What's that line? Was it Hemingway that said, I always feel the most alone when I'm surrounded by people? Midway through my rice, I hear my name. Shimizu, over there? Doesn't sound like they're talking directly to me, so I don't answer. I just lift my eyes, looking around the room from beneath my lashes. My gaze falls on Mikami, gesturing vaguely with her juice box. She's whispering about me. I can't hear what the reply is or the rest of the conversation. I do see Inoue walking past her to the trash can though, and her eyes flip from Mikami to me. I ignore this and go back to eating. The rest of lunch passes in relative peace. Some good timings on these pages, just gotta say. Getting timing right in Renpai is tricky, but when it's done right, it's really good. The bell finally chimes and I head to the class in a farewell. Miss Haruna closes her books again, gathers her things and leaves. Goodbye everyone, I'll see you all tomorrow. And a small crowd forms around Mikami. She fetches her coat. They crowded around her during lunch too, but I guess they still haven't had enough. I don't blame them though. New transfers are always exciting, and Mikami? She's cute. I won't deny that. She's a cute girl. I'm not surprised she has a lot of people admiring her already. If I'm honest, I think I'm a bit jealous. I can hear people talking to her as I gather up my things. Where'd you live before, Mikami? Oh, Sapporo. I've always wanted to see Sapporo. You should. It's really beautiful. Your coat's so cute, Mikami. Thank you. Mikami. Inoue pushes it to the front of the group, Ueda close behind her. A few people step aside to make room for Inoue. From where I stand, I see a few people giving her looks. Inoue isn't exactly popular. She smiles sweetly, innocently. I can't tell if she's oblivious to the looks people are giving her or if she just doesn't care. Knowing people like her, probably the former. Like, there's a kind of selective disconnect that many people have when they're not good with people. She steps too close to Mikami, making her take a step back a bit. I'm Tomame Une. This is Yu Ueda. Ueda nods. Welcome to our class, and if you want, I can be your friend. I know a lot of people, and I could also tell you who to watch out for. Oh, here we go, I sigh, putting the last of my notebooks into my bag. Watch out for? A lot of people are really bad. A bunch of bullies and brats. Inoue is the only kid I know who calls kids her own age a brat. Inoue's voice lowers, though not nearly enough. A lot of people are really mean, like Shimizu over there. Hey, Onyx! From below my lashes, I see her point in my direction. You need to be careful around her. She's awful. Huh? Shimizu? Mean? Mikami frowns, shaking her head. I don't know. I met her outside earlier. She helped me out. She seems pretty nice to me. She only helped because she's class leader. Really? She's stuck up and rude. She looks down on the rest of us a lot and says a lot of bad things. Fuck. Back in the lake. Inoue, get in the lake right now, please. She pauses and I hear her voice tighten. Yeet! I want to say Ueno push her into the lake. Like, that would be good. Like, that would be good praxis. I've been dealing her through years now, with a dramatic swipe at her eyes, Inoue squares her shoulders and looks back at Mikami. But I'm warning you, because you sit next to her, she's not a nice person. I don't hear how Mikami responds. I close my school bag, clicking the class louder than I probably need to, and quickly walk away from my desk. Oh, Shimizu! I walk down the hall, weaving around the other kids on their way home, or going to clubs, or just milling in the hallway. I've never been part of clubs myself. I know I probably should. It looks better when you're applying to high school or university. There's a lot of club-based stuff in Japanese schools, like the after-school activities club life thing is really big over there. Like, I think it's big in the US as well. It's not so much in Australia. But like, if you're not part of extracurricular activities over there, it tends to be a bit frowned upon. But I can't bring myself to do it. I wouldn't really get along with anyone anyway. I'd probably just be in a corner by myself while everyone else talks and hangs out. Maybe I'll try next year. Or third year. Shimizu! Hey, Shimizu! Fast football scats my ear, and a second later, Mikami zooms up to me. Shimizu, hey, you're going home? Yeah. Can we walk together? I suppose? We end up walking together anyway, at least for a bit. There's just one single, one-way road leading up to the school gates. Mikami grins like I offered her 10,000 yen. I mean, that's not that much. Thanks? As we continue on our way, she starts happily chattering at me. So listen, I wanted to thank you again for helping me earlier. What, telling you which door was unlocked? It was nothing really. But I never figured out if it weren't for you. I'm sure you would have eventually. So how long have you been class leader? Since the year started? Yeah. And the year before that. And before that. Pretty much since 2nd grade, really. Every time it came time to choose a leader, everyone voted for me. I don't mind much, I've come to expect it. Sounds like a lot of responsibility. Not as much as you'd think. I'm not sure where this sudden modesty is coming from. I guess I just don't want to give her the wrong idea about the job I made. I just come in early to help Mr. Aruna with anything Mr. Aruna needs. I lead the class in greetings, and I act as go-between for class and student council. You're on the student council yourself? You seem the type. No, I'm not. I just never felt a need to. You'd be good at it. She's sweet. I love this quote. This is such a wonderfully, traditional style Japanese quote. It's really sweet. You've only known me for a day. How could you know that? Mikami runs around to stand in front of me. She moves so suddenly that I quickly stop so I don't run into her. She beams at me, obvious to our near collision. Yeah. You wanna know a secret? I can read people, like their aura and personality and all that cool stuff. And I can tell that you're awesome. Close up. It's so sweet. Look at this art. Look at this gorgeous freaking art. And these hair berets. Berets? I think they're berets. This is beautiful. What? You'd be great at student council, and everyone would like you, I can tell. What? The air feels colder as I stare at her. Something swells in my throat. Hey, Mikami? I don't think you're as good at reading people as you think you are. How come? My mum always said I'm great at it. Mikami, I want to tell the truth. Nobody likes me. You were startled. But that'd make me sound like Inoue. It'd sound like I was fishing for compliments. I pause, shaking my head. I go for a different excuse instead. I'm not interested in student council. Oh, then... I walk around her, continuing on my way. Mikami stands there for a few seconds before running to catch up with me. few moments later, we reach the end of the road. The way to town spread out in front of us. I figure this is where we part ways, but Mikami continues to follow me. Hey, we can go the same way. She says it like she's discovered a great treasure. Looks like it. Mikami falls into line with me and we continue walking. She hums slightly under her breath. We keep walking down one road, another. We turn the same corner. This is getting strange. You're sure you live in this direction? She's just following me unthinkingly. Well, I don't want her to get lost. Yeah, I do. Well, looks like we're going to be stuck together a bit then. We keep walking. After a while, I struggle to think of something to keep the conversation going. Only because it's so awkward to walk in dead silence, especially if it becomes a repeated occurrence. If we end up walking the same direction every day from now on, doing so in silence will just feel weird. I pick a safe topic to talk about. How do you like Ikagi? No, wait. Ikigai. What is Ikigai? Is this a place? Is this a place? I'm curious. I have no idea. This may be a made-up place. We'll find out. It's pretty nice so far, really peaceful and quiet. I kind of miss the shopping malls though. You mentioned you like shopping in your class introduction, right? Yeah, do you like shopping? Not really. Oh. Mikami chews on the inside of her cheek, darting her eyes around. But, there is a shopping area in Midtown. It's probably not as big as what you used to, but you might like it. I feel the need to tell her a bit about Ikigai. Kind of like how I tell her about school. Not to mention I feel bad for raining on a parade a bit there. Well, thanks. I'll look it up when I get home. We turn another corner. Again. Creep. Maybe we should shop together. Wait, what? Me? Sure. I know you said you don't shop much, but it can be just a hanging out thing. We live in the same direction, we sit next to each other, you were the first to talk to me. I think the stars are aligning to make us friends. Somehow I doubt that the stars were doing anything. I don't know about that. Well, how about acquaintances? Friendly neighbors? Classmates who talk more than sometimes? I'm safe from answering when Mikami suddenly stops at the corner of the road. Oh wait, this is my stop. She smiles and points down the road. I live down that way. As if it weren't obvious. My house is right in the middle. Where do you live? One more block down. I live 2 houses away from the corner. We live close together. How lucky. Yeah. I'll see you tomorrow, Megumi. Wait, Megumi? Hey. I try to call after her, but Mikami is already running down the road to her house. I don't think she can hear me anymore. Weird. I watch her turn and to vanish into one of the houses, and I continue for home. I'm home. Welcome home, kiddo. Dad comes in from the kitchen, wiping his hands on his pants. You didn't start cooking without me, did you? No. I only washed the rice. Meet me in the kitchen a little bit when we get started. Okay. Short time later, I'm changed and standing in the kitchen with Dad. In front of us sits an array of vegetables, spices, and some meat we picked up yesterday. It's curry night from the looks of it. Oh, Japanese curry. Gosh. That's one thing I really miss over there. Dad and I always cook together. We have since I was 7. I'm not entirely sure what started it. Maybe I just wanted to help out. Maybe he thought I liked company instead of playing by myself. Either way, after Mum left, we've always done this. It's nice. I think it makes food taste a little better too, somehow. But I can never tell anyone that. They just laugh at me. Stern, serious Megumi Shimizu, getting sentimental over food, over cooking with her dad. Big joke. Dad starts peeling potatoes while I chop the carrots. So how was school? Did you have fun with your friends? It was alright, same as usual. I pointedly avoided his second question. Well, actually, there's one new thing. We got a new transfer today. Her name is Hinata Mikami, and she's from Sapporo. Sapporo? I paused to look at me in surprise. She's out quite a ways. Huh. Her class introduction says her family wanted a more peaceful home. I guess her mum doesn't like large cities anymore? Dad shrugs. Well, everyone there was their own reason for moving. This town has less pollution too. It's becoming nice. I think about how she talked to me outside the school when I pointed out the one unlocked door. I think of her easygoing smile, how readily she took our class. I think of how very friendly she was when we walked part way home. Now that I have time to think it all over, I wasn't annoyed with her, was I? I don't know how to respond, but she wasn't irritating. She was just talkative. And I'm not used to being talked to like that. She's really nice. Talks a lot though. She's probably just nervous and eager to make friends. Hand me a carrot, would you? I pass a piece of carrot to him and he pops it in his mouth, crunches down before speaking again. So she's your friend now? Oh. I busy myself with the vegetables again, focus on not cutting my fingers, always important. I don't think so? I can feel Dad's frown intensify even though I'm not looking at him. Why not? She sounds nice enough. It's hard to explain, really. I know what Dad's getting at, but it's hard to explain my situation without hurting his feelings. It's hard to put everything into words in general, but I try. Well, I don't see a reason I would. She's nice, but we're pretty different. I don't know how well we'd get along. I keep cutting, the sound of knife clacking on the cutting board fills the gaps between words. She's really social too. I saw her in a big crowd around her a few times. She's got a lot of friends already, meaning there would be no room even if I wanted to approach her. I don't think I'm really her type. There are no words for a while. Just the clicking of a knife on wood and the bubbling of broth. Dad finally speaks. Can't hurt to try. He sounds tired and I feel guilty. But all I do is nod, making an uncommitted noise in my throat. Carrots are ready. And that's that. I still feel a little bad staring up at the ceiling at bedtime. I know what Dad's getting at. I know he sounds so worried and tired half the time when he talks to me, especially about school. He's worried about my lack of friends, the fact I don't bring people over or visit someone else, the fact that I don't mention anyone when I talk about my school, only the lessons and Miss Haruna, the fact that I always leave early, but always alone. He's worried that I'm lonely, but I'm not really. My lack of friends is just another fact of life now. Like, my hair is long and my eyes are blue and I don't have any friends. It's just another thing that makes me me. I heard her when we were talking to her friends, and even if she doesn't believe in her, I just don't see us being good friends. I mean, why would we? I've never had friends. There are two kinds of people in the world, is what I think. There are normal people. Those people smile and talk easily, look people in the eye and laugh. Those people walk right up to strangers and talk to them and come away as friends. They smile, they feel things, and they're just destined to be surrounded by people, it seems. They'll be successful and happy and loved. And there are other people like me. We don't talk that easy. We don't feel very much. At least I don't. I'm cold, I'm numb, I'm just a creature of routine. I can't make myself speak to others or laugh. I don't even like myself. I go through life doing what's expected of me, finding fleeting joy in tiniest and oddest things. Like my cooking routine with Dad. People like me aren't meant to have friends. It's like a house party, all lit up and warm. people like me are on the outside looking in through the window, and I've accepted that. I'm going to grow up the same way I'm living now, get a routine job, live a quiet, routine life. With just me and the cold numbness I always feel. I've accepted a long time ago that this is my lot in life, the kind of person that I am. I roll over and fall asleep, already dreaming of snow. Warm. Megumi equals valid. That is very valid. So, that was the demo, the first part of Warm. I definitely grew up feeling the same way as Megumi there. As a lot of feels, and there is a huge amount of potential, and I am utterly in love with it already. The story is beautiful, the characters... Well, one of the characters needs to get yeeted into a lake, but we're going to have to deal with that when we get to it. But I am incredibly impressed. I really am. So, go check that out. crispycat.itch.io/warm. The full novel is going to be released in February? It's either February or July. I don't know how they've done the time date thing. Because in Australia we go day, month, year, but in America you go month, day, year, and I can't remember how Japan does it. Something like that. But yeah, so that's coming out next year. And I am really excited to see where that one ends up. So, where are we at next? Where are we at next? Well, let's close down that one. Quit. We got any abouts there? There we go. Grey Renpai. Writing and art by Butterfly Latte. Music by Lottahouse, Akuris Productions. I am amazingly impressed. That was beautiful. And I think we're ready for Game 2. So, Game 2 on tonight's, or today's, or this digital diversity, this final digital diversity of the year. I cannot believe it's been a whole year. 2 years now, fuck. Is Dr. Frank's Build a Boyfriend. This one has been on my list since last year, and I am super excited to give it a go. So let me just double check. Let's double check the content warnings, because my list has... There we go. Alright. Dr. Frank's Build a Boyfriend. Content warnings, body horror, language, being dumped, self-worth issues. That's pretty standard around here. Those are some pretty standard ones. So let's wait for it to launch. How's everyone doing? How is everyone doing today? I hope you're all doing wonderfully. I hope you're doing the best that you can at this time of the year. I do know that it is a rough time of the year for many people. So let's see. Hidden games. Do we have sound in this one? We do have some sound. There we go. I'm expecting something a little more along the funny side, so let's see how we go. Dr. Frank's Build a Boyfriend. Might need to turn the... How's the volume? Let's pick it up a little bit. Once upon a time, in the treacherous mountain hillsides of Guinel, There lived a wondrous, amazing, and most incredible scientist named Dr. Frank. And yes, he was a doctor. He finished like half of both of his doctorates before getting kicked out. That totally counts. Never. That's the point. If you complete half of 2 doctorates, does that give you a full doctorate? Ahem. Anyway, he was super awesome Dr. Frank. Spent his days toiling away at his research, pursuing his lifelong dream of bringing people back from the dead. This is how Frankenstein Conquers the World starts, gosh. It wasn't for any sentimental reason, there wasn't some long-lost love he wanted to bring back or anything. No, this was for a much more noble pursuit, the aim of advancing mankind's scientific knowledge. And yet, it was this same research that caused the local villagers and even the weak-minded university men to fear him. Because they were stupid and jerks, and they couldn't possibly understand the sheer genius of Dr. Frank's work. But it was no matter, for the genius doctor was an honourable and humble man who simply continued his most critical research, even if it meant he was completely alone. Well, okay, he wasn't totally alone. Iggs was there, and he was a fine assistant, even though he keeps asking for raises. But the point is, I love what they're doing with the constant change of the font size. That's really fucking cute. And I love this background. Like, I've actually got multiple layers of background going on here, and I think that's very cool. Like, someone who plays around with Redpie a bit, I love seeing people do different stuff like this. One day a sudden knock came at the door. The scientist opened it to find a beautiful man with a radiant glow standing there. In his heart he felt a strange, previously unknown feeling begin to form as the man opened his mouth and said, "Yo, what up? Name's Dominic. You're that freak that got kicked out of Hindenburg. You for those weird death experiments, right?" Fuck. Dominic is some terrible YouTuber, obviously. It was like an angel had been sent to meet him, and now that angel was asking about his research. No matter what Dr. Frank did, he couldn't stop his heart from pounding. The good doctor invited the man in. They quickly got to know each other. As the days passed, the man's visits grew longer and longer. Their relationship also grew into something romantic. Dr. Frank had never given his heart to anyone before, but maybe for him, maybe for this man named Dominic. 3 months later. I never want to see another beautiful boy again. Dr. Frank, are you still there? No one is here to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone. The door opens and my assistant Iggs walks into the room. I want to see this room. Let's look at this room. Oh my god, we've got... What's that? Got a couple of tubs of ice cream there. Plushie. I always... Like, if there's a game with a bedroom, I want to see a plushie on the bed. Like, it's just me. It's just what I want. And I got a pig one, and this little poster at the back. Never give up. I love it. I tried to bury myself further into the sheets, hoping he won't see me. Instead, he rudely opens the blinds. It's been a week, Dr. Frank. So, I can be sad as long as I want. I lost the love of my life. Frank. Doctor. He waves his arms in the air out of frustration. Look, I know he meant a lot to you. I mean, he was your first, right? And no one likes being dumped, especially when it was out of the blue like that. But sitting in your room all day crying into your bedsheets isn't going to help you recover. You need to... Leave me alone. He said I was cute. I was in love. He was my boyfriend. You couldn't possibly know what I'm going through. Actually, Dr. Frank, I've gone through my fair share of breakups myself. You do know I know how I met my current boyfriend, right? So yes, I do know what you're... How can you say that to me? My love was special, unique. It wasn't like your love, it was destiny. Fuck. Dr. Frank needs to be yeeted into a lake too, just to calm the fuck down. I roll further into my blankets, breaking my sight line with this egregious interloper. Sigh. I don't get paid enough for this. So in character for the original though? Fuck. Dr. Frank. He starts to pull the blanket from off the bed, against which I double my rolling efforts to keep him at bay. I didn't come in here to fight with you. Can you stop? We have a problem. Victor would do this! Fuck. You're right. Like, you put this up against the source material, and it's like, this is exactly what the original Dr. Frankenstein would do. We have a problem. I can feel his grip lessen, and I peek my head up from the blanket cocoon to look at him. He's holding a piece of paper in his hands with a weird look on his face. I tend to grab it and start reading. Tomorrow at Hindenburg University Conference. You know, the one people traveled from all over the country to see? Well, the conference schedule was posted today. And what the hell is this? Right in front of me, in plain letters, is Returning from Death to Life, a breakthrough study by Dominic Nylion. Resurrection? But that's my research. But it's Dominic presenting it? This can't be right. He wouldn't be presenting my research under his own name. I tried to tell you last week, but I noticed him leaving with some folders the day he dumped you. But you were too busy crying into a gallon of ice cream to listen. No, this couldn't. That asshole! First he breaks my heart and dumps me out of the blue. And even after he called me babe. I mean, how could he say that and then do this? He takes my research, my baby, and now he's presenting it to those jerkwads at Hindenburg University like they hadn't rejected my exact same proposal years previous. Why did he get accepted while I was kicked out? Well, your thesis project did bite the headmaster's hand clean off, Dr. Frank. It was one time. Whatever. It's not important right now. What's important is that Dominic is about to claim my research as his own. Maybe this was his plan all along. I mean, but we were soulmates. I just knew we were. But now I don't know. I am having a lot of fun reading this one, by the way. This one is fantastic for, like... This feels like a drama that I really want to do. I crumple the paper in my hands, writhing with angst. There's no way. There's no way I'm gonna let him get away with this. That asshole ruined my life, has taken my baby, my research. I threw the blanket off me, leaping to my feet. Iggs! Yes, Doctor. Get the shovel. I'm going to show that asshole what happens when you piss off a scientist. That's just the best phrase. I love it so much. Like, I love that so much. There's some really interesting designs in this. I'm a big fan. Later that night. Frank? Doctor? Dr. Frank, I'm pretty sure this is illegal. I look at him, holding a particularly interesting specimen in my hands. Does this look like the arm of a hot boy to you? This is illegal. A lightning struck touches down a good whiles off, as if to exaggerate his statement. No one's using these, it's fine. We're desecrating graves. I mean, I've helped you with a lot of crazier experiments, but this is where I draw the line. I throw the arm I'm holding to him, quickly climbing out of the grave. Ugh. So yeah, maybe there's a chance this isn't completely legal. But this is a historical moment, Eggs. If we are going to create the first artificial life form and show that that asshole and those idiots at the university, we can't skimp on anything. We're not just making the world's first artificial life form here. We're pushing the boundaries of human capability. We're going to create the world's hottest boy. And then Dominic will take one look at him, then realize he was a fool for leaving me. An even bigger fool for taking my research, because now I have someone even hotter than him. This is just so many layers of perfect. This is like... This is how you would rewrite Frankenstein for the modern age. Like, this is the example. Someone gets jilted and dumped by some toy boy and goes, screw it, I'm gonna make a hotter one. How honorable, Dr. Frank. Eggs appears to be trying to find the perfect position to hold the specimen with the least amount of bodily contact. So you see, people who advance boundaries of human capability were never stopped by silly things like laws. Now quick, I heard that Mr. Lance has a pretty big penis. We can use that. Suddenly, something moves in the underbrush. Was it the pretty big penis? Priorities in order. 1, right arm. 2, large penis. What's that? Hey, watch what you're doing. You almost dropped my precious spoils. But didn't you hear that, Dr. Frank? I think there's something... Again, a noise breaks out from behind us. Well then, hurry up and find that penis! Dr. Frank, behind you! I quickly spin around, a sudden ominous feeling in the pit of my stomach. Is it illegal? Yes. Is it ineffective? Yes. You expect me to defend this for the third item on the list, but I'm not. Both illegal and corpses are far too decomposed to make a decent body. That is true. But we are talking in the realms of scientific fantasy here. Plus, I think part of, like, that whole thing was the regeneration aspect of it as well. It wasn't just, like, bringing someone back. It was bringing someone back and bringing all the back bits healthily. Ooh, who's this? There's a man I've never seen before standing there. I'm sorry, was I disturbing something? Oh, no. I step back to Iggs, hoping the stranger can't see any of our souvenirs. I am so sorry, it was his idea, and I punch him quickly before he can say something stupid. This causes him to recoil, and the arm we had been arguing about not a few minutes earlier lands on the ground with a loud thud. Man takes a clear look at what dropped out of his on the ground and looks back at me. What was his idea? Man takes a step closer to us. I quickly position myself in front of the dropped arm, holding my breath. Oh, fuck. Iggs, you're so funny, such a kidder. Wow, it sure is cold out all of a sudden. Well, we should be going now. I grab our bag of loot and dash away as fast as my legs can take me. I hear Iggs yelling after me, telling me to slow down. It was nice to meet you, Dr. Frank. If I get arrested, I'm suing you. And the box with magic written on it back there. God, I kind of want to zoom in and see what all those say. I dump the bag's contents onto the table, body parts falling out and bouncing off the floor. I said I'm going to sue you. Think we have just enough. Dr. Frank, do we even need all these? Why did you take so many to begin with? Iggs, we are making art here. We can't just use any body parts we find. We must use only absolutely most beautiful pieces. Hunks galore. Cutest boys ever. That's probably underwear novels. Underwear models. So you want to be something. Boy. Magical boy. I pick up some arms and take a closer look. Like this, see? They're absolutely gorgeous. Look at that keratin. Or actually, maybe not as beautiful as the one you dropped, but I suppose you're right. They're beautiful enough. You say that as if I dropped her of my own free will and not because someone punched me. Now where do we put the... Shoot! I turn to look at my assistant. We have a problem. Looks like we just have desecrated dozens of graves, hacked off and stole family members' body parts, and then we spotted doing so. No, not that. I pause, unsure of how to say this. We didn't grab any... You know. I gestured downwards shyly, hoping he'll get the reference. I have no idea what you're trying to say. Dick! We didn't grab any dicks! Oh. Well, this is terrible. We even had the perfect specimen with Mr. Lance's penis. How am I supposed to make Dominic jealous of me now? Dr. Frank, do you honestly think that is what's going to make Dominic jealous of you? Yes. We need to go back. Absolutely not. He blocks my exit, making sure I can't retrieve any other body parts. We don't have time for this. Fine, we need to... I hate saying this. I'll just improvise. I don't like where this is going. It's fine. It's totally fine. We're still making something beautiful here. We just need to be creative. Let our creative juices flow. Now let's see. Oh, gods. We actually get to do it. Alright, so hair. It's like page boy cut. Ooh, the ponytail. The ponytail is quite cute. No man bun. No man bun. I mean, side shave? Emo fringe? What do we think? So, bald, we've got like the shaggy do. We've got like... I think it's like Geralt kind of hair. We've got the page boy. I'm thinking the ponytail in red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, pink, brown, black. Tragic anime boy. What do we think? What color? So, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, pink, brown, black, or tragic anime boy. Ponytail's good pick? Yeah. And Ike's... Ooh. I mean, Eyeweig's, I think that one, it's nice and simple. Skin color, we've got a few different shades. I mean, they're gonna be undead, so let's go with something a bit pale. I mean, Tragic Anime Boy seems good, but I kind of want to go with the pink. Because why the hell not? Let's do that. We'll go with the pink ponytail, those eyes, pale skin, and penis. Little carrot. Modest cucumber. chunky gourd, double trouble, just like my animes, no worst. So, nothing. So, what are we going for, downstairs? We go with nothing, little carrot, modest cucumber, chunky gourd, double trouble, just like my animes. Double trouble it is. Yeah, I think the pink with this hair, the pink should be quite nice. I mean, we could go for like an Alucard kind of thing, but let's go with this. As long as it's not too explicit, we should be okay. Perfect. Dr. Frank, what were those penis options just now? Iggs, open the roof door. I need a little atmosphere as I make history here. What's the Shiri going to do? Oh my god, double trouble from Shira's here being a dick. Fuck, I love Double Trouble. That was such a good character. Like, fucking non-binary representation Shira, as if I needed more excuses to love that show. He suddenly goes to the crank, reluctantly beginning to turn it. The ceiling creaks open, showing the dark, turbulent sky as the cold, harsh rain above us. I raise my arms up, catching the coldness in my outstretched hands. There's a strange sensation in my stomach, a knotting of excitement and anger. That's what the job was for Big Mo. It's rising throughout my body, invigorating me with a newfound strength. Eggs, this is it. It's perfect. The skies, they know we're about to do the impossible. They know that we're about to. Nothing can stop me. Nothing can stop us. I'm going to show Dominic that I don't need him, that I'll never need anyone like him in my life ever again. He and his kind will become obsolete. We're going to better the world, Eggs. We're going to make it so no one will ever have their heart broken again. Dr. Frank, you're scaring me. I can do this. I can make the most beautiful boyfriend ever. This entire premise is beautiful. I can't wait to see our beautiful, wonderful monstrosity. We work hard through the night, accumulating just enough energy from the lightning storm to inject into our subject. We almost failed multiple times, body not holding the energy as well as it should, but it was no matter. My sheer genius, hard work, and determination carried us through many hours of grueling surgery. We had done it. We had created the world's most beautiful boy. Oh my god! They're perfect! Dr. Frank is kind of ugly. Don't say that to him, you'll hurt his feelings. Yeah, they look like pizza top, they look like pepperoni. And I'm sure he's beautiful to someone. No, what am I thinking? I made him. He's beautiful, and beauty is relative anyway. Of course. Especially with his... What exactly is that on his abdomen? It's a 128 pack. I figure that the more packs you have, the sexier you are. Why have a 6-pack when you can have a 128 pack? So I added a lot. Frank. Dr. Frank, you took an anatomy class, right? Well, I guess, technically. Maybe. I don't even know what to say. He spoke. Did you hear that, Iggs? My boyfriend spoke. Your what? My boyfriend. Haven't I been saying that this whole time? You've been saying you're gonna make a boyfriend, not your boyfriend. Of course I'm making my ultimate boyfriend. Look at us. I wrapped my arms around the monster to show Iggs just what I mean. Soft. He returns the hug, lifting me off the ground and nearly breaking my bones in the process. See, God, I can't breathe. He's so strong. That's sexy, right? Monster, drop him. You drop him right now. The monster lets go of me. I painfully hit ground. Dr. Frank, you alright? Of course. Because my boyfriend just hugged me. Dr. Frank, please, stop. Cute. Fuck. Iggs, did you just hear? Dr. Frank, please calm down. He's the perfect boyfriend. Iggs, look, okay, look. I ran up next to my boyfriend, wrapping my arm around his waist. Do we look good together? Like, would this make Dominic jealous? I don't know if jealous is the word for it. The monster leans over and gives me another hug, this time not as painfully. Oh, he's a hugger, that's the best. Best ultimate boyfriend. Papa is soft. Oh, no, please don't call me that. I love my papa. Please stop. Oh, well, that must be a glitch. Papa is soft. No, I'm your boyfriend. Repeat after me. Boyfriend. Papa likes hugs. I mean, what people want to do in their relationship dynamic is totally fine by me. Dr. Frank, please make him stop. Don't worry, we can train him out of that. Probably take some time. Well, we probably don't have. Doesn't matter. As long as he doesn't talk, it should be fine. He can still be my boyfriend. Yeah, it's totally valid. And let's get moving anyway. If we leave now, we can easily make it to University Square before the presentation starts. Boyfriend, let's go. We're going on a field trip. Yeah, I don't think Dr. Frank's into it. Maybe he's just not used to it. Like, it takes time sometimes, you know. Takes hearing it a few times before you get used to it. Field trip. I begin to lead him by the hand, wondering how we're going to navigate the narrow stairs leading from my secret lab. Sure you're not going to take him into the town like that. What do you mean? I mean, he's naked. How are they going to see his beauty then? He's going to get arrested in public indecency before you make it to the conference. Fair point. Fine, so we'll dress him. I made him pretty big. You did. I'm not sure if I have any clothes that'll fit him. Dr. Frank, you need to dress him. I guess I'll be creative. Objective, dress your boyfriend. Study, bedroom. Oh my god, we've got an entire thing. Kitchen. Bedroom. Wardrobe. I don't want to open these. The skeletons I've stored in there are going to fall out. Packing is never my strong suit. Clothes. That's the assortment of worn clothes. I still have a little while until laundry day. The only thing that I have with my fit my monster would be... I pick up my old nightshirt. Check itself before it wrecks itself. Check itself before it wrecks itself. I like that. Perfect. This'll fit. But I'm still missing some clothing articles. None of these pants will fit him. It's my oldest friend, Dr. Oink. Dominic didn't find her very cute. In hindsight, maybe it was never meant to be. A big comfy bed for only the best of the best. And the best of the best, I mean me. Half-finished bubblegum ice cream tabs scattered across the floor. Look, I was sad, okay? Daylight. Wonderful face to wake up to, everybody. This is pretty fucking cool. Let's try... the conservatory. I made this for my midterm project. They were supposed to make a weed killer. I ended up creating something that makes weeds grow almost at a comical rate. On top of that, I'm either deathly allergic to this or it's poisonous. Either way, I don't want to pick this up unless I need to. Pick it up. Yes. Holding my nose, I put it in my inventory. Achoo! This sucks. It's Susie, my thesis project from a PhD program. He's named after Black-Eyed Susan. Look, I built him for his specifically to lust after the flesh of man. Yes, he's going to bite. It's kind of his nature. There was no need for me to kick out of the program for that, and he only bit someone once. That's pretty good for a man-eating plant. Like, I love the amount of interactability in this. This is pretty impressive. It might not look good at it, but I have a bit of a green thumb, and you can't see it because of my gloves. Gangrene? Nah. No, where else are we going? Study. Achoo! Ugh. Ventilation in this room isn't very good. Suddenly, I become aware of the foul odor of the weed killer in my pockets pulling off. Achoo, achoo. Can't breathe. I collapse to the ground, gasping for air. You've died! Try again. No, I'll stay dead, thank you. Yes, please. Fuck. Do we even have an inventory? Okay, let's not pick up that. Limited edition, okay? A comically large dictionary. It claims that it can translate any script known to man. Pretty useful. But also painfully heavy. I refuse to carry around if I don't have to. Pick it up? Oh, so you can pick up random stuff. This button was set to move the bookshelf, revealing the passageway to my secret lab. But I got lazy and just keep it open all the time now. Okay, we need to find some pants. Nice study globe of the world. It's a nice reminder that things exist outside my door. If I ever stoop low enough to want to leave. Come on, we're looking for pants. In the kitchen. Where else? Ew, there's bugs. In the fridge. Nothing except pickled bugs, plants, and unidentified failed projects. Does seem to make the game run a little slower though when you get to this point. Entryway. Boom, we got some shoes. Random assortment of all the shoes of footwear I own. None of these would fit the monster. Naturally, his feet are really big. Shoot! What am I supposed to do? The only person that would fit him is Dominic. He left behind a pair of boots after the breakout. In a fit of rage, I'd throw them along with his other stuff in the entryway in the cupboard and throw away the key. Shit. So we've got a bit of an adventure game feel to it now. So now we need to get into the locked cupboard. Shoes are in there. It's locked. Okay. So we need to find something to pry the door open. So let's go into the dining room. Fancy napkin. Okay, we picked up the fancy napkin. We need something to pry the door off with. Maybe in the lab? There's eggs. I found a shirt. Great. Pull out my bed shirt and put it on my boyfriend. What are you doing? I'm clearly giving my boyfriend a shirt. That's what you wanted, right? To abide by public decency laws and other crap. I mean, don't you have anything fancier? Look, this is the only thing I own that'll fit him. You can spruce it up at least a little. There's blood? Are those blood stains on the front? It's coffee, so what? You want me to spruce it up? What does that even mean? Pretty sure that's not coffee, Dr. Frank. Do you have a tie or a bow tie or something? Besides the one I'm wearing? No, I can't take it off. It'll ruin my look. Well, then you better find something else to go with it. Here, have it back. You'll need to combine it with something else. Alright, so we have got an inventory. Combine. Combine. There we go. It's like a cravat. Fancy shirt. And then just barely make out the coffee stains from back here. You know what? Let's make sure no one touches him during the presentation, for health precautions. Alright, for the magic books, you can extend some magic. Come on, we need something to pry open that thing. Reference pictures for my boyfriend. Yep. Truly the epitome of my life's work. Okay, we need something. Something better, and there might be something in the study that we didn't see. Thrifty knickknacks. To your house. Don't enter. Go away. But if you want to get to the secret lair, you can do it from the other wall now. So that is the button. There's no tools here. I pick up yesterday's newspaper. Annual Hindenburg University Conference set to astonish. I put the newspaper down. Gotta spruce up my study somehow, right? Some of these are even handy. Get it? Like a hand? I'm gonna die alone. There's a lot going on in this one. I'm very impressed. Can't go to Hindenburg yet. God, there's gotta be something. Maybe there's something in the kitchen that I didn't see. Oh, a knife. A trusty, dusty knife. It's so worn it can't cut anymore. Main use to release the private top of Jay's jam. There we go. Let's see if we can use this. So, entryway. That. Use. Door. Using almost strength I must pry the cupboard door of its hinges. Gah! It's open. It's almost as hard as opening the jar of premium bubblegum jam last week. Rummaging to find, I find his shoes. What an asshole. Can't believe he's really gone. Wasn't supposed to happen like this. I'd been okay by myself. I was a genius, surrounded by those who couldn't appreciate the beauty and grace of my work. Alone, misunderstood. I had convinced myself I was okay like this. I had my future all planned out. I was going to die as an unknown genius, someone ahead of his time. But then, Dominic. The way he looked at me, at my research, I didn't even know it was possible that someone could potentially understand me. He knew what my work meant, what it meant, what I meant, but he left, and I was alone again. Now this life I had chosen for myself was unbearable. Shoe leather is rough on my hands. I should get back to eggs and the master, and the monster. Air. Is there anything else in there? Cupboard used to be locked. Now it's missing a door. Fancy chair. I don't care. We still need pants. I found shoes that will fit my boyfriend. That's great. Shoes. Alright, so pants. Dissecting table. In its own way, my boyfriend's crib. Doesn't sound weird, does it? Only a little. Pants. Nothing important out there. What? Whoop. Shovel. I didn't see a shovel sitting beside Susie. I won't be able to grab it without getting close enough for him to attack me. Okay, let's grab the plant. Let's grab that. I mean, the fact this is all done in Ren'Py is pretty freaking amazing, actually. I think this is Ren'Py. It's running off all the same processes. Inventory. Use. Plant. My hypothesis is what's happened if I had to pour some of the wheat grow on Susie. Is that Susie would grow 2 heads. Now, in theory, this sounds cool, but in practice, I can only see it ending with someone's death and a headache. So I'll pass. Collection of broken pots used carry some of my rigor around. Even more plants. I have a lot of these. Use that one. That one. Use. So we can't take this into the study. Okay, so this will make all our plants grow. So maybe the kitchen? Let's save that. Go to the kitchen. Achoo! Okay, no ventilation bad in there, so we'll load. That one. This is so beautifully put together. I love this. Lab. Achoo! No. Is that just gonna happen every time I play it? No, don't override save game. Load. That one. Can I take it out? Oh, it can go to him, but okay, cool. to the graveyard. Immaculate rose bushes. Poor weed grower on rose bushes. Nothing happens. Poor weed grower on graves. Nothing happens. Handful of graves we visited the other night. Wish I could have grabbed Mr. Lentz's penis while we had the chance, though. Of course you did. To the church. Or weed grower on roses. Quickly dump all the powder on the roses. Try my hardest not to breathe in the dust. Vines, lion manes, and other weeds start popping up immediately, covering the roses that were there before. That certainly did some damage. Yeah, maybe. Well, this seemed to work, so... Ooh, pants. Donation box holds a large collection of clothing. It might be okay. This is probably for the needy. Luck for luck, I find large pants that most likely accommodate a double penis. I think I qualified as needy in some definitions of the word. I grabbed the pair of pants and stuffed them into my pockets as much as possible. They don't fit? The lengths I got. Close enough. I turn around to leave with my contraband pants in tow, except... Oh, I see you meet again. Good morning, Dr. Frank. Mr. Frank. Doctor. Excuse me? I'm Dr. Frank. Well, then please forgive me, Dr. Frank. It's nice to finally meet you. My name is Sidious. I just moved here. I took over care of the church from the last priest. I see you found something of use in the donation box. Dr. Frank, no worries. That's what they're here for. If you found use in them, then they were destined to go with you. Oh, thanks. Gives me a cute smile. Wait, I meant sickly sweet smile. Since I've just moved here, I was hoping that someone might be able to show me around. I gotta go. I ran out of the church as fast as possible. Made it. He just about cornered me. Gotta keep my eye out for that guy. He's suspicious. To the house, to the lab. Give pants. I found the pants I found. I can't believe you actually found double dick appropriate pants. And where exactly did you find those? The church. I don't even want to know how they ended up there. Pants. Is that it? That's it. He's ready to go. Let's go, boyfriend. Dr. Frank, please wait. We don't have time for this, Iggs. The conference is starting in a few minutes and my boyfriend isn't there. Double dick pants in the church. Whatever. But the sutures. Leading my boyfriend by the arm, I slammed the front door. To my dismay, standing there is... Oh, Dr. Frank. Right now is not a bad time. Shit. Field trip. Fuck. They're perfect. Who's this? This is, wait a minute. Made this a perfect opportunity of the presentation I'll be giving at the conference. Yeah, this dashing, handsome, absolutely sexy fellow here is my boyfriend. Papa! No, don't say that. I love my papa. I'm not into that, I swear. Gotta open your mind, Dr. Frank. There's no need to hide your interests, Dr. Frank. I'm not into that. My boyfriend suddenly moves to the known, waddling up to the new neighbor is standing. Hello, Mr. Dr. Frank's boyfriend. What's your name? You seem a very happy fellow. I'm glad we were able to meet. I hope you treat Dr. Frank well. He seems a nice, cute fellow. My boyfriend suddenly clamps Silly's on the shoulders, his face intense. Mama! Fuck. Fuck! Stop doing that! I'm so sorry! Mama! Your boyfriend is cute, Dr. Frank. You approve of this? I approve of this. I wouldn't mind being your mother if you needed one. He doesn't need a mother or a papa for that matter. No mama, no papa, mama. God, I don't have time for this. We're going. Fuck. I reach behind me, grabbing my boyfriend's arm to shove past Silius and make our way to the grand conference. Except the arm doesn't quite have the resistance I'm expecting. Instead, I look behind me and see that I'm holding half an arm. Dr. Frank. You knew. I had ripped off my boyfriend's arm off. I slammed the door shut, ignoring the muffled noise I could hear on the other side. Shit. What time is it? Conference started about 5 minutes ago. Locked down the arm in my hands. The skin seems to be slipping off. Looks like it's rotting. What do you mean rotting? Well, it is dead flesh. We didn't soak in it for melon or anything. That'd make it look hideous. Can't work with hideous body parts. Eggs. Field trip? Just have to sew another on, real quick. Go fetch me one of the others. Fine, but still slightly uglier specimens from the lab. Eggs? Please don't yell at me. I got rid of the extras. What? I returned them back to the graves. I was feeling so guilty. We desecrated graves for those pieces, and you weren't even using them. The least I could do was return them. Well, what the hell are we supposed to do now? Bring my ultimate boyfriend on stage who's got a gaping wound dripping all over the place? It would match the blood stains on his shirt, at least. For the last time, it's coffee. Ugh. I have to calm down. The conference just started, and it'll go for another 2 hours. Dominic's presentation isn't until the end anyway. Just crash his presentation. So I need to dig up another arm. Yeah, I'm not doing that. What else am I paying you for, Eggs? Go dig up that arm. Angry bad. My boyfriend inserts himself between Iggs and I, cutting up any argument that we might have started. Fine, I'll do it. You stay here and babysit. What a thing to say about your boyfriend. I leave. Find boyfriend a new arm. Okay, so we're gonna need that shovel, which means we need to give... Actually, did we have that other arm in here? We need that shovel, so... We need to give Susan something to keep them... Is that other arm gone? Dining room... Can we, like, collect the bugs? The tenants, Miss Pretty Princess, Mr. Handsome Prince, Miss Slightly Too Devoted Knight, Mr. Inappropriately Dressed Butler, and Mr. Her Majesty's Pet. No, they aren't paying any rent, unfortunately. In case you're wondering, it's possible to stay awake 4 days straight while drinking my very own painted Dr. Frank coffee. Alright, we need to go find... Keep following that, you'll end up in town. Can't go. Okay, so we need... We need something to feed to the plant. What are we feeding to the plant? Do you need anything? Yes. Is that pepperoni? His nipples are pepperoni slices. Yeah? Why? Why not? Because nipples aren't usually made of pizza toppings. My dear Eggs, you're living in the past. This is cutting-edge nipple technology we're dealing with here. My boyfriend has the best nipples in the world. They're meaty. They have enhanced flavor. They taste like pizza. Of course. I have a question. Where's that arm? I need help finding that shovel. But I don't know how to get without meeting me. Can you say, Susan, you lust after the flesh of men? I did indeed. Probably use that to your advantage. Yes, I know that I can use that to my advantage. I just need some... If you hadn't thrown out all the bits... At least you've got someone to, like, the traditional point-and-click adventure, like... Papa is back! Okay, while I'm out, your job is to train him out of that. Why me? What else do I pay you for? For helping you run your experiments, Dr. Frank, not training your undead boyfriend out of his daddy kink. This is an experiment, so it's technically part of your job description. And need I remind you that your current job is to stop referring to me as Papa. I am formally addressed as boyfriend. Papa! This is inhumane on so many levels. His crotch. Dr. Frank, I don't need to be rude or anything. But why did you suture a two-headed dinosaur toy? We didn't have any dicks to choose from. I was being creative. More is better, right? So what's better than one penis? Two. Dr. Frank, maybe this is why people keep questioning the validity of your doctorate. Oh, okay. We need to find something to feed to the goddamn plant. There's nothing in the dining room. In the back, spin of dishes. There's nothing in the fridge. Is there anything in the sink? Pile of dirty dishes. No. Don't have time to cook. I mean, there's that giant book. Okay. Grab giant dictionary. Wait, makes the English right. This is impossible. Doesn't matter. We're taking this. Okay, we're gonna save that. And we're gonna go out. And we're gonna go conservatory. As soon as I step in the room, the floor beneath me, my feet shakes. Suddenly my feet fall through and I fall. What? Too heavy. I should have put more effort into the upkeep of the mansion. This is one of those Souls-like games, right? There's an arm in the study. Is there still an arm in the study? Wait, there's a hand there. Wait, is there an arm in the study? There's a hand, yeah. No. It's like a hand, but there's none I can grab. What's that? Bubblegum flavored donuts. So we've got plushies. We've got ice cream. Got nothing in the hallway. Can't get anything from there. There's nothing in the kitchen. What is that goddamn arm that fell off? Anti-chair. There's nothing in there. Half an arm fell off before. And we don't keep it. All we've got is a goddamn rusty knife that's blunt. There's nothing in there. Oh, there we go. Well, what are you doing? I'm picking up some reading material, that's all. We're on a mission here. Can't you do your alone reading time later? Wait a minute. This isn't for me, it's for Susie. Oh god, we're gonna give the plant a skin mag, as they used to call them. I didn't think about that, but... Meaty Man magazine. I slide up towards Susie, keeping my head low. Hey kid, want to see something cool? The plant hisses at me. I bring out a certain magazine. He goes silent as he sees the sparkling muscles on the cover. Meaty Man Monthly. So much meat. Too hot to handle. Wow, someone. More hunks than ever before. Rated #1 somewhere, probably. I can accidentally leave this behind if I'm ever get closer to a certain gardening equipment. He grabs the magazine in his jaws, opening up to a full spread. He no longer pays me any mind. Let's grab the shovel and let's dig up an arm. Oh, Crap, I made eye contact with him. Nice to see you again, Mr. Frank. Doctor! Please forgive me, that was awfully rude after you spent time correcting me the previous time. Anything I can do to make it up to you? Ah, well, if you ever think of anything, feel free to let me know. Suspicious. Can't just start digging up body parts with him standing there. You like, dig up the roses or something? Use... No, wait. Knife on those. Cut a few weeds to help pretty up the roses. Might as well tidy up a bit. How do we, like, get him gone? Yeah, even flirting is suspicious. Say, Silius, I saw a whole bunch of weeds in the church. They were in that little box with your roses. My flowers! He rushes off. Use. I move to dig again, but something strong grabs the end of my shovel. Baba! Boyfriend? Me too, me too. He grabs the shovel and starts digging in the grave. Even with only a single hand, he puts to shame my own progress. I wanted to come find you. But it's Iggs. For some reason, I'm happy to see him. So cute. What a great boyfriend. Wait, did anyone see him? Dr. Frank, you live in a nigh impenetrable mountain range. No, no one saw him. Oh, good. Ah. Seems that the monster had found something while digging. Iggs walks over to pick up the severed arm that he quickly rebury in the wee hours of the morning. How do we get this on again? My assistant starts to hand me the stapler for the arm, then to pull back after a second thought. Are you sure about this, Dr. Frank? What? Come on, we have to get going. Give me the stapler. I mean, you're doing all this to get back at Dominic, right? Have you been paying attention? I'm taking my revenge on him and the stupid university types who... Right, I think you're putting too much energy into this. Too much? I reach out for the stapler, but he pulls back. So you get your revenge, and then what? I reach out again, but he dodges me. Dr. Frank, then what? Then I'll be happy, and they'll recognize what amazing work I've done, and... Again, I reach for the stapler, but to no avail. Iggs, we don't have time for this. When will you have time for this, Dr. Frank? I've tried to ask you 2 days ago, and a week before that. You kept avoiding the questions. What are you going to do now, after taking your revenge? Well, then everyone will love me, and they'll accept me back into the university, and Dominic will be so destroyed that he'll have to leave the country. And what if that doesn't happen? Dr. Frank? I don't know, Iggs. Now can you please give me the damn stapler? He hands it to me, and I take it without looking him in the eye. Arm. I quickly reattach it to the best of my abilities. Now he's ready for the conference, and only a few minutes to spare till the presentation starts. Let's go. We arrived before Dominic's presentation, the conference brimming with people. To think that all these people would have been looking at my research, at me. If only things had been different. If only Susie hadn't had that one unfortunate encounter with Headmaster Aaron. If only the professor hadn't threatened to report my work to the Queen's men. I could have been up there. Now where is that asshole? And then the current presenter goes behind the curtains for a split second. I can see a certain brown-haired man I could never forget. That asshole. I charge off, pushing through the crowd, Iggs and the monster on my heels. We make it back to the stage just in the nick of time. You. He sees me and takes a step back. Oh wow, what are you doing here, Frankfurter? God, what am I doing here? I'm here to take my revenge. Dude, what? You stole my research. Everything I worked so hard for. Now you're presenting it to these people? And what? Bro, can we talk about this later? I'm like 5 minutes away from doing this thing. Fuck you, you broke my heart. Dude, are you still hung up on that? What? I mean, it was like 2 weeks ago, tops? Well, fuck you, and now I have someone even better. I glance behind me to present my new and better improved boyfriend, but he's still off in the crowd, him and Iggs fighting to slip behind the stage. I made an entirely new creature, a new life form. He's better than you. He's more handsome and more affectionate and listens to me when I speak. He's just a million times better than you were in every way. Cool. I'm going to go do my presentation now. But aren't you intimidated? Speechless is how I completely moved on from you and you were nothing but a mistake? Yeah, that's cool, bro. Second-hand embarrassing. So I'm going to do my presentation. He turns to leave, but I follow on his heels. Your awesome research. Don't you mean my awesome research? You stole it from me, and that's why I'm doing all this, taking my revenge. Yours? I mean, it's based on your research, but still my experiment. Don't worry, I cited you in the bibliography of the paper. Suddenly the crowd starts clapping and a man pulls back the curtain, motioning for Dominic onto the stage. Look, I gotta go. That's my research! I rushed to stop him from going out there, from claiming my research as his own, but just then... Mr. Frank? I turn around to see it's Headmaster Aaron. Oh. What the hell are you doing here? Higgs has finally caught up with the monster, both out of breath. What the hell is that? He gestures towards the monster, who's just staring at his missing hand. You people, you fools, stand back. I did the impossible. I have an incredible experiment that will revolutionize the nature of humanity. I created the world's first artificial life form. I'm going to go out there and change this loveless, cruel world. That man, he stole my research. My research, hear me? I'm not going to let any of you step all over me again. Mr. Frank, Mr. Nyland is an esteemed member of our doctorate program, and any such claims of plagiarism are to be taken seriously. If you truly wish to pursue this further, and this isn't yet again another one of your outbursts, you can take it up with... Just then the crowd bursts in another sound from outside the curtains, and I turn to look. There's a bird flying around out there. Somehow he'd been able to reanimate it. God help us. All of a sudden, people start moving. Stagehands are running off whispering amongst themselves. Don't mention this creation you brought with you to anyone, Mr. Frank. What? But I'm here to present. Would you shut up for once? The Queen herself is in attendance tonight. Is she? It's been all over the papers. Ah. Suddenly a few armed guards rush past, shoving their way to the stage where a bewildered Dominic stands. The headmaster pulls me back further out of sight of the ominous-looking guardsman. Look, Mr. Frank, we've tolerated a lot of your shenanigans in the past. Despite what we've told you multiple times regarding the legality of your work, what is this invention in the face of? Despite multiple warnings, you have continued to pursue illegal research, and now you have passed that same illegal research into one of our students. The guardsmen have run out the stagehands, lining them up next to Dominic, most likely to arrest them. If you don't say anything, they won't arrest you too. Two? Some yelling breaks out on stage. It's Dominic yelling at the guardsmen. One of them pushes the other, and suddenly the three of us are fighting. Our eyes lock. It's not mine, it's his. He makes a lunge towards me, but one of the guardsmen hits him and falls around. Well, I guess I didn't realize that reanimation is technically illegal. I suggest you leave. People have started to scream. What in the world is going on out in the audience? Dr. Frank, we need to go. But my revenge? He grabs my hands and pulls me away. We make it out of time just in time. There are fires dotting the horizon in the direction of Hindenburg University. Lucky to have escaped, you know. Ooh, butterfly. And with that, I think we'll call it on Dr. Frank's Builder Boyfriend. Leaving it just at a very fun point. So this one, lots of laughs, and I can see where this is going in a much darker direction. So very cool. I'm enjoying it. Next, finally tonight, we have with us our third game of the evening. Will be Baked Magic. Boop. Our third and final visual novel of the night. The final digital diversity game for the year, which makes lucky number 30. Let me quickly check to make sure we don't have any warnings or anything I have to worry about. This is a relatively recent one, I believe. But just going through my long list. There's a lot for next year. Just gotta say, like, there is still a lot of games to cover next year, so there we go. No content warnings for this one. Fantastic. So, final game for this session is Baked Magic, and I am very keen to see where this one goes. Butter. But yes, very curious to see the rest of Dr. Frank's Build-A-Boyfriend, because that was super fun and really taking Ren'Py in directions that I haven't seen it done by before, or at least not in a common way. So I am very keen to see where it goes. It's funny, it's weird, it has lots of interactivity. It's like amusingly semi-lewd, so we'll see how that all goes. I'm just waiting for this to launch. Hey Max! Welcome back. You caught us just in time for the last game of today. Gonna play Baked Magic. I think we're all good here. Can probably turn the volume up a little bit on this one, and we'll see how it goes. So this one, by Red Baby, and yeah, let's have one last game for Digital Diversity for 2019. I believe this is all about lesbians in a bakery, lesbian witches in a bakery, so gauging off the description, I'm pretty sure. It's been a while. Let's see. Let's play it and see what it's like. Ooh. It's full of muffins. Perfect. Once the apple cinnamon muffins are done, we'll be finished with today's baking. I think I'll open the store a little early today. Lana, come quick. What's the matter, Elliot? I started a fire! Oh. Oh. Elliot, where's the fire? Right here. You mean you conjured fire? When you said you started a fire, I thought you said set the kitchen alight. Again. My name is Lana Olien, and I run this bakery. No way, I'm not that careless. At least not anymore. This little ball of energy is my apprentice, Elliot Ardia. I wasn't able to control my fire magic at all last week, but I practiced really hard and finally got the hang of it. I wanted to show you how much I've improved. And we're witches. Aw, my fire! What am I gonna do with you? This is already really cute. Later that morning. Lana, I can't find the powdered cinnamon. It's on the shelf next to the clove. Okay. We've had this bakery for a little over 3 years now. It's always been my dream to open up a store and sell my delicious snacks and remedies for the people of Parina. Parina. Like, this is something that I can imagine. Like, you can, like, instead of going into, like, hardcore magic, I want to see mages go into baking. Like, so if you think about it, like, the traditional D&D style mage is so often heavily based around, like, magical components and everything, that they, and being precise, they would be amazing bakers. Or brewers, or, like, found it! Good work, Elliot. Elliot was one of the first customers I ever had, and back then I hadn't realized she was a witch. Last year, she came to me saying she wanted to learn how to use magic to bake. Lana, look! I finished dusting the apple cinnamon muffins. Don't they look appetizing? Initially, I was reluctant. I want a muffin. I like that muffin. It's like appetizing, but with apples, because I'm holding apple cinnamon muffins. Yes, well done. Could you please put them on the display stand? But even after I turned her down so many times, she still visited the store and begged for me to teach her. Appletizing. Yep. Well, they've got to be gay if they're making puns like that, just saying. You didn't laugh at my amazing joke. She's very persistent. Last month, I finally agreed to take her on as my apprentice. Haha. That didn't sound sincere. And things at the bakery have been more lively ever since. Good morning. Yeah, this game's making me hungry too. I'm gonna need a sandwich or something after this one. Morning, here comes our #1 customer. How is life at the castle going, Jane? This is Jane Doe. Jane Doe. She is a royal knight that comes by the bakery every morning to buy a blueberry lavender muffin. This art looks very familiar. Huh. Okay. The art style looks similar to someone else I like's work. It's going fine. You know I can't say too much about what happens at the castle. We also served together during the war. You can say we've been through a lot together. Aw, stingy. Should I get your usual, Jane? If you would, thanks, Lana. Runs in for us this week. Hey, Draz! Jane, you alright? You have bags under your eyes. Thanks for your concern, Elliot, but I'm fine. There's a lot going on at the castle at the moment, so I just haven't been sleeping well for the past couple of nights. Would you like something to help you sleep? Flirt or suggest... Well, let's flirt. We're going hard on flirt tonight. I have just the thing for sleepless nights. What do you suggest? It's easier for people to fall asleep when they have someone to hold at night. Or if someone's holding them. Spooning! Spooning is the best way to fall asleep. If you need a person for either suggestion, I'd happily volunteer my services. Thanks for the offer, but I don't think that's the right solution to my problem. Scribbles. Yeah. Today's lesson, how not to flirt with customers. Elliot, please don't write that down. Well, since my first proposal seems to have rejected, how about I make you a potion to help you fall asleep instead? A sleeping potion? I'm not sure. Don't worry, it won't knock you unconscious straight away. The potion I have in mind will just help you relax and make it easier for you to fall asleep within 5 to 15 minutes of taking it. Are there any side effects? You wake up normally and feel refreshed. No side effects? Nothing like the potions we used during the war. I see. Very well then. You okay there, Zim? Cat's running around. Shall I make the potion and deliver it to the castle tonight, Jane? If you would, thanks. Oh, I can drop it off for you. How do you plan to get to the castle? I can walk. You haven't been practicing how to fly, have you? You can't do it. Can't control more than one element like you can, Lana. I can barely make fire. How do you expect me to use wind magic so soon? Conjure fire. Please let me do the delivery. I'm not as magically gifted as some of the other witches in town, but you're still willing to take me on as your student. Nah, call Kiki. Call Kiki's delivery service. I want to prove my worth as your apprentice, with or without magic. When you're this determined, how could I possibly say no? Woo! Good for you, Elliot. I'll greet you at the castle gates after sundown. Alright, I'll see you there, Jane. I hope your potion works, Lana. Do you doubt my skill? Never. I'll see you, Elliot. See you, Jane. So what type of sleeping potion are you going to make, Lana? Just a simple one? Would you like help? Yes, please. I feel like I'm learning a lot today. I'm glad you think so. This is just very sweet and lovely. So we've had a very interesting mix of games this morning. We've had Warm, which was very, very feels and very heartfelt. We've had Dr. Frank's Build-A-Boyfriend, which has been funny and weird and lewdish and just fun. And this one, it just feels very sweet and positive. positive and like it's feeling what it's like when you eat something nice, like that kind of baked good feel. So here's what it says on the box. There's more to witchcraft than just summoning and conjuring. Knowledge of the world around us will also improve our ability to brew potions or perform acts of alchemy. Scribbles. First, we'll need to gather all the ingredients. What do you need? For this potion, I'll need some valerian root, passion flower, and peppermint leaves. All of these can have sedative effects on the consumer, but have varying degrees of effectiveness. They also differ in taste. The peppermint will be used as a main aromatic component. Ooh, do we have all these things? We do, but what? Elliot? Yes? Did you by any chance move things around the kitchen this morning? Well, you see, I took some of the ingredients off the shelf when I was looking for cinnamon, but then I forgot where everything went, so I just put them back where I thought they would go. Sigh. I see. I'm so sorry, I've messed up your kitchen. No, it's fine. I should have been supervising you instead of putting the muffins out on display. Just have to look out for the kitchen and try and find them. Okay. Lana? Yes? What were the ingredients you needed again? Valerian root, passion flower, and peppermint leaves. I'll write you a note. Thank you. Let's have a look around. Oh, it's the same thing. See, this is going to be in weird places, so... Sage... Passion flower, okay. So we got passion flower. Nutmeg. That's a big bag of nutmeg. Peppermint. Lemon balm. Goji berries. Clove. Valerian root. There we go. Found all the ingredients. Actually, I had fun looking for the ingredients. Maybe do it again. Please don't mess up my kitchen anymore, Elliot. Sorry. Elliot, please mind the front of the store and serve any customers while I work in the back. I won't let you down. I'm sure you won't. Later that evening. The rest of the day goes by rather uneventfully. I take my time preparing the potion, making sure to use the correct measurements. Using too much or too little of any ingredient can change the potency and taste of the potion. By the end of the day, we close the bakery and I give Elliot a box with a potion inside to deliver to Jane. I love the sleeping potions and one speedy delivery to the castle, coming right up. Be careful. It would be faster for me to fly to the castle myself, but I admire Elliot's passion and determination. When I first took her on as my apprentice, she caused me a lot of trouble. She constantly made mistakes while baking, and her aptitude for magic was quite low, even for someone of her age. But she tries her best, and I find that endearing. I had never met someone as dedicated and determined about baking as her, and I can't help but want to support and encourage her. I hope she doesn't get lost on her way to the castle. The next day. I wake up early in the morning and make my way downstairs to the bakery. It's still dark in the little kitchen. With a flick of my wrist, the fireplace lights up. Not all witches in Paraneria are born with the ability to use magic. Most develop a spark during childhood, but in rare cases, some people can train themselves and force the spark to ignite in adulthood. Elliot is one of the latter. She's been training since adolescent, but only ignited her spark last year. I admire her determination and perseverance. I like that idea of magic, actually. Like, you start with some moderate ability to do it. Oh, we've got a friend. Hey, Zumi. I've got no Zumi. Hey, baby. Haven't had you on for a while. This is Azumi. She is my little princess. Yeah. Wow, kitty. Okay. Yeah. You be here while I play? Yeah. You cut up on the lap. Come on. It's okay. There you go. It's okay. There we go. The cats have been getting a lot more into lap time lately, which is very sweet. There you go. Good girl. I, on the other hand, am one of the former. I first developed my spark when I was 8. Another child in my neighborhood had dug out the sunflowers I'd been growing. I was so enraged I'd spent weeks growing those flowers. I raised my hand to grab his arms, but the earth beneath him rose and began engulfing him instead. That was the first time I ever used magic. Luckily, he was also a witch. He conjured a wave of water to wash over us. He said it would cool me down. Turned out he had picked the flowers because he wanted to give them to a girl he liked. After talking together, he promised not to take things from someone else's garden again. I generously gave him the sunflowers to give to his crush. He came to me the next day because she had rejected him. Guess even magic can't save a person from the pains of heartache. Okay, Jimmy. Lana! I walk over and unlock the back door. Morning, Lana. Good morning, Elliot. Did you manage to deliver the potion last night? I sure did. Oh, and listen to this. Last night, there was a lot of commotion at the castle. Commotion? The guards were running around frantically, and several messengers were entering and exiting the castle last night. Do you think it's unordinary for there to be such movement at the castle? I'm not sure. Perhaps the guards were looking for something, or someone. Or maybe the king was sending out declarations of war to neighboring nations, or maybe even love letters. You have such an active imagination. I like that about you. Thank you. You won't need to worry about King Carl declaring war on anyone anytime soon. How can you be so sure? Because the last war just recently ended. Many lives were lost, including the Queen's. Her last wish was for the prince and princess to live in a world of peace and harmony. It's a good wish. I doubt the king would do anything to take this life that she helped build away from their children. You have so much faith in the king. I did serve under him during the war, after all. I would say I know him pretty well. Can you tell me more about the war? I didn't ignite my spark until after it ended, so I was never exposed to the battlefield. Only mages go to war. There isn't a lot to say. The slime monsters suddenly appeared one day, and King Carl enlisted the aid of all witches throughout Bavaria to banish them. Jane served in the war too, even though she isn't a witch. Yes, many skilled fighters fought in the war, but without the use of magic they were in the front lines and most were injured. What were the slimes like? Slimy. Oh, that's not very informative. There were many different types of slimes. Some were like water elementals and some like fire. Is that how Jane got her scar, fighting a slime? You ask a lot of questions, Elliot. Why don't we start making simple vanilla... Why don't you drop down the side? Simple vanilla muffins for today's sales. I can do that. Of course you can. I'll be here to guide you. Do you know what ingredients we need? Sure do. We'll need flour, milk, vanilla bean, sugar, and... You'll also need oil and eggs to add moisture and soft texture to the muffins, as well as a pinch of salt to enhance the flavor of the sugar and vanilla bean. We're learning a lot about baking today. We need to write that down. There's cat fluff everywhere. It is shedding season, and we have 4 cats. Didn't you write this down last time? I forgot where I left the notes. Oh, Elliot. Later that morning. The morning kicks off with the 2 of us baking all sorts of delicious treats. Before I know it, the time that Jane routinely comes to visit has arrived. Good morning. Good morning, Jane. How'd you sleep last night? About that. I'm sorry, I didn't get a chance to take the potion last night, even though you went through the trouble of brewing and delivering it to me. It's nothing to apologize over. Why didn't you take it? I really shouldn't say. Please. I am also curious. After I went to all the trouble of making it, at least you owe me explanation for my efforts. I already paid you in coin for the potion, though. You can repay me with something else for the emotional trauma of not having my product used. It hurt my feelings. And my legs. I had to walk such a long distance to deliver it. Yes, poor Elliot. We demand conversation in the form of castle gossip. The old you would never have stooped to such trivial excuses, Lana. Is this your doing, Elliot? Very well. We had a few messengers from the neighboring nations arrive, so I had to escort them around the castle. Why were there so many messengers? I saw a few when I came by. They were returning responses to the king's invitation. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want to, like... Brewing magical potions just seems a lot of fun. Like... I mean, nothing's stopping you from being a witch. You can always be a witch. You can always, like, witchcraft is valid. And potions are valid. The king's invitation? Yes. You see, the king plans to hold a ball in a couple of days. All the nobles in Paneria will be attending, as well as some ambassadors from the neighboring nations. Ball! Luca will also be attending. Who's Luca? Another witch that Lana and I are acquainted with. He's a childhood friend of mine, you could say. I'm not surprised he's attending. He's a noble after all. He has a tendency to fall madly in love with every man, woman, and anything in between he meets. A real hopeless romantic. That's more a horrible remedy than magic potion, though. True. I mean, that's still a potion. Anything in between irks me a little, but this is terminology that people use. It's best if you keep a safe distance from him. Oh, okay. What's the occasion? The princesses, fucking, apostrophes throw me sometimes. It's the princess's betrothment. She's getting married? Who's she gonna marry? I'm not sure yet. I'm not high enough in the chain of command to be informed. But the princess has requested to specify that specifically the muffins are served at the ball. She did? Yes. Wow. Why would she request my muffins specifically? She eats your blueberry lavender muffins every day. It makes sense that she would want her favorite food at a betrothment ball. The muffins you buy every morning have been for the princess? Yes. I didn't know that. Wow, Lana, your food is being eaten by royalty. I suppose I should feel honored? I actually thought Jane was the one eating my muffins. So it turns out she wasn't coming to visit me, but was instead running an errand for the princess every day. I'm not sure how this makes me feel. But anyway, the king wishes to order 500 assorted muffins from you the night after tomorrow. Can you do that? 500 muffins in 2 days. That's doable. I guess not. You will, of course, be invited to attend the ball as well. Okay, night after tomorrow, correct? I should be able to get that done. I assume Elliot will want to help with this order? You bet I do. Excellent. Consider it done. Thank you. Are you alright? Please don't worry about me. I'll just take my usual muffin and return to the castle. Alright. I go behind the counter and place a blueberry lavender muffin in the carry bag. For some reason, I put it in a fancier bag than usual, opting for a black pouch with gold hemming instead of the plain tan one. Here you go. Thank you, then. Did I subconsciously try to present my muffin in a more sophisticated manner because I knew it was meant for royalty? I'll be back at the same time tomorrow. Have a good day, Jane. She leaves, but not before showing a pained look on her face. Jane didn't look too happy when talking about the princess's betrothment. I had a feeling I knew why, but it wasn't my place to say. Elliot, I think the pumpkin seed muffins will almost be finished by now. I try to ignore it and carry on with running the bakery. I'll go check. Go about the rest of the day of serving customers and baking as per usual. When I close up the bakery, Elliot tells me she has a prior arrangement and is unable to stay. I'm sorry, I can't stay back to help clean up today. Don't worry about it. Make sure you get home safely and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, you're so understanding. I'll see you tomorrow. I locked the door behind her. Sorry. I'm still worried by the look on Jane's face as she spoke to us this morning. I could tell she was troubled by the princess getting married. And I guess that bothered me. The obvious fact that Jane has feelings for the princess. Let Jane marry a princess, goddammit. I don't know what to do with my own feelings right now. The next day. Lana, my arms are getting tired from all this mixing. How do you do this every morning? I suppose this would be a time to use how to use the magic to mix the batter. Really? Yes. I need a quill. Please wait. Maybe she should start carrying a quill and ink around with her. Alright, I'm ready. Polycule! Yep, hell yeah. Let's begin beating the eggs. Since your initial spark element was fire, Elliot, you should also have slight connection with both the wind and earth elements. We'll be harnessing the wind element for today's lesson. Okay, first pinpoint a specific part of the eggs to focus your magic. Next, we'll want to mix the batter in a circular motion, so we'll want to focus our magic around the bowl. We will continue channeling our magic around and around. And that's it. Sounds easy, but I'm sure I'll make mistakes. Do you want to watch me do it again? Yes, please. Okay, but after this I want to see you give it a go. So this is like Cooking Mama style. And that's how we do it. You made it look so easy. Thank you, Ellie, but flattery won't improve your magic skill. I know. Think I'm ready to give it a try. Good luck. Uh-oh. Calm down, Elliot. When you panic, you can accidentally channel your spark element. In your case, that would be fire. Okay, take a few seconds to calm down. Inhale, exhale. Should we try again? One more time. Now the egg's gonna be ruined. Seems to be getting the hang of this. I can see some real potential. Great work, Elliot. I can mix all day. Very good, but I think we should stop here for today. But I'm on fire right now. I didn't mean it like that. Water, I need water. You get too excited. Sorry. Still have a long way to go. Now that egg's gonna be partially fried. After some time. You did pretty well with making today's batch. The amount of times I lit the batter on fire. I'm sorry I wasted so many ingredients. It's quite alright, Elliot. I knew I was getting myself into when I accepted you as my apprentice. You're so kind. Oh, here comes our Lana, need your help. Excuse me? The king. He plans to wed the princess off to the first man that can defeat his fighter in a duel at the ball tomorrow night. Oh, I can see where this is going. What? I need to create a potion to turn me into a man. What? So we've moved into TF fiction here. Transformation fiction. Please, I'm begging you. It's the only way I'll be able to fight for her. I can't possibly allow the princess to marry the first man who defeats the king's chosen fighter. Who knows what sort of barbarian it could be? But there's a chance the winner could be a kind-hearted person? I can't risk it. I can't bear the thought of her marrying a stranger she doesn't even know. Jane, rather than her marrying an unknown man, isn't it more accurate to say you can't bear the thought of her marrying someone other than you? I'm just a knight, I'm not even a high-ranking officer. I'm an elf and my body is scarred from war. I don't have any redeeming qualities. My biggest setback of all is that I am a woman. What right do I have to stand by the princess's side unless I change? Oh, choice time. Agree to help, you're against it, confess your own feelings. Oh, what are we doing here? Like, either agree to help or confess. Like, I'm not gonna go against this because it's what they want. But at the same time, are we going to, like, put their feelings above ours? I'm bad at making these decisions. Help. Like, Jane's cool, but Jane's obviously in love with the princess. But our feelings are also pretty important. refusing to make it doesn't end to a bad ending. Yeah, that's fair enough. But like, screw it. Let's make Jane happy. And you think that by turning into a man and defeating the king's fighter, you'll be accepted to stand by his side? Yes! Fine, I'll do it. I'll create a potion for you if that's what you think you need in order to win the princess's heart. Thank you, Len. Is there really a magic to change Jane into a man, though? I have never made one before, so I can't guarantee it will even work. We don't know what will happen. Your body might change, so could your state of mind. I don't even know if you'll have a permanent effect or just temporary. I am willing to take the risk. I just want to make it clear I don't agree with this. I don't see why you need to change yourself to fight for the princess. You easily hold your own in battle against the other knights. You even fought in the war against the slime monsters. I would never be accepted as a woman, Lana. Very well. I'll make the potion tonight, so come by again tomorrow morning. Thank you. You don't know how much this means to me. Lana, are you okay? Yes. Let's get back to work, Elliot. We still have an order to prepare for tomorrow night. Dun, dun, dun. That evening, after I sent Elliot home for the day, I sit in the kitchen in silence. The only sound I could hear is the crackling of the fireplace. Today has been both physically and mentally draining. The bakery seemed busier than usual today. Some of the customers were definitely not locals. I figured they must be visiting from the neighboring nations. They were here to celebrate the princess's betrothment. Perhaps they too were planning to fight for the right to marry her. Even after the last customer had left, I waited well past sunset to close the bakery. I think I wanted to keep myself busy so that I could hold off on making Jane's potion. It's going to be a long day tomorrow. The day of the ball. Surprisingly, I had a really good sleep. It's a new day today, but that does not mean the events of yesterday did not happen. It also means I have a very large amount of muffins to prepare. What, doing 500 in one day? God, that'd be a lot for an industrial bakery. I'm here. I open the door. Good morning. Good morning, Elliot. Thank you for coming in a little earlier than usual to help with today's order. My pleasure. We have a lot to do today and not enough time to do it. Okay. I don't waste any time with idle chit-chat this morning. Everything I've taught you so far has been leading to this moment. I'm going to need you to find ingredients for me and help me mix the batter. We're going to work hard and fast. I won't be able to give much assistance. In fact, I'll actually be timing you this time. I can handle it. Alright, are you ready? Yes. I'm counting on you. Elliot, please hand me the eggs on the bench. Yes. Thank you, Elliot. I need more flour now. Got it. Good work. Grab me some lavender from the corner. Okay. Got it. Doing well. Finally, hand me some blueberries from the bench. Okay. They're blackberries. Those are blackberries. Those aren't blueberries. What's going on here? You've been helpful so far. Ready to mix the batter? Let's do it. Cooking mama style. Remember to focus. Concentration wonders, you might just burn the batter. I'm sure you won't. Start by mixing this one. This is weird but fun. I have not seen this done in a Renpai game before, and I'm like amazingly engaged in this. And into the oven it goes. Yay! Great job, Elliot. Not only did you work efficiently, but you were able to use magic to mix the batter. I'm so proud of you. Emily, what you doing? Pop. I was only able to do it because you have such an amazing teacher. Yeah, cooking minigame. Yeah, it's a lot of image maps. Like, I've not seen that done before, and I am, like, entirely impressed because Renpai is a very simple engine, and you can do a lot with it. But seeing people put mini games into it is, like, mind-boggling. Flattery will only get you so far, Elliot. Far enough to receive a reward? Perhaps. What would you like? Really? Well, maybe I'll ask for it at the ball. Are you sure? If it's something I can get for you immediately, you may as well ask now. It's alright, I'll ask you during the ball. Very well. Muffin making successful. Later that morning. This morning has been extremely hectic. I decided not to open the store today so that Elliot and I could finish working on muffins for tonight's ball. I was mixing several balls of batter at once using magic. A few dozen muffins were already baking. Before I knew it, Jane had arrived at the bakery. Hello? Lana? Elliot? Is anyone in? Coming! I'll get the door for Alana. Thank you. Morning. Morning, Jane. I'll be with you in just a moment. Take your time. I can see that you're working very hard to finish the muffins for the ball. I mean, I'm not quite sure how far this potion's gonna go, but we can see. I mean, if this potion is just gonna be like a very large T-shot, then it's not gonna do everything, but we'll see. Have you been in the bakery's kitchen before? No, I believe this is my first time seeing the back. What do you think? It's cozy. Hey, Jane. Yeah, Elliot? About what you said yesterday? What exactly is it about the princess that you like? I nearly channeled my spark element into the muffin batters. It's unprofessional of me, but I stopped mixing the balls so I can eavesdrop on the conversation. Yeah, this art is super cute. It's like simple and adorable. I love it. It's a little embarrassing when you ask me so suddenly. Sorry. But now that some time has passed, it's not so sudden anymore, right? You really are persistent. The princess is very kind and charming. Aren't I also kind and charming? Would you fight over my hand in marriage? Elliot, the princess is... Even though I'm not a very interesting person, the princess will always listen to me when I ramble on during our conversations, regardless of whatever topic it's about. She is always encouraging me and grateful for what I do around the castle. She may be kind, but she also lectures me if I make a mistake. Well, I like that responsible side of her. It's like... I'm trying to work out if, like, Jane has big top energy or big bottom energy, but there's a lot of energy going on. Big switch energy, maybe. At the end of the day, seeing her beautiful and sincere smile makes me happy. Sincere bottom, full bottom energy, yep. How am I supposed to try and talk her out of this? Jane. I worked all night on the potion, but I haven't tested it yet, so I don't know if it'll work. It's a bisexual potion. This is a bisexual potion. It's bisexual. Okay. Thank you, Lana. I really do appreciate you making this for me, even though it was so sudden. Is it meant to be bubbling like that? I honestly don't know. At least it's a pretty mix of colors. Oh, Elliot. Chug, 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 chug. You're not going to drink it now. I'm a little nervous. I'll drink it before the ball. Will you be okay? Never take new medication just before a big event. It's a bad idea. Said I was willing to take the risk, right? Don't worry about me. I'm living by my own choices in life. If anything goes wrong, I have only myself to blame. It's not like your choices don't affect other people, Jane. Telling us not to worry. Elliot is more upset than I thought she would be. If something happens to you, then we'll lose our #1 customer. I tried to brighten the mood with a joke. Lana's right. Without you, our sales would go down. You too. I promise that even if I turn into a man, a bear, or even a pig, I will still come to this bakery every day to buy a muffin. Better. It's a promise, alright? Yes. That's brand loyalty right there. We are going to have to finish up soon, but I am very keen to see how this potion turns out. We both worked hard throughout the whole day. I feel incredibly lucky to have Elliot by my side to help me bake. We delivered the muffins to the castle that evening. Sun touched the horizon. It did not take long to set up, and then it was time for the ball. Wow, the ball has barely just gotten started and there's already so many people. I'm so excited. It's 3/4 done, so I may as well finish it off. Fuck it, let's finish it. Let's go all the way to the end. It's great, Elliot, but be sure to stay close to me. We'll be staying in the main hall for most of the night, but the castle itself has many rooms and hallways, so it's easy to get lost. Okay. Lana. Yeah, Elliot. Dressing up and going to the ball together. It's almost like we're on a date. Yes, Elliot. Like, Jane and the princess, and I want these two together. Lana, the muffins are delicious. Elliot, if you eat all the muffins, won't be left for other guests. But they're so good. I would do the same thing. I would eat all the muffins. Evening, beautiful. Luca! Long time no see. It's been too long. The muffins being served tonight from your bakery, correct? They're delicious. Gay. Yep. Thank you. They're as sweet as you are. I see you're still saying such phrases. It's the truth. And who's this gorgeous girl? Hi, I'm... No. What, you're going to give her the wrong impression of me? Just no. I just want to introduce myself. Good evening, beautiful. Luca de Castro, but you can call me Luca. I'm good friends with Lana since childhood, and you are... Only interested in women. That is the best response to that line ever, and I love it. And you are only interested in women. Bye. Fuck. We like Elliot. We like Elliot. I don't even have a chance, do I? Not really. Lana, I'm broken. I can see that. No, really, who are you? Are you someone special to Lana? I sure am. I love seeing her face every morning, and we spend every day together too. By nightfall, she's got me all tired out. I can barely keep up with her. Lana, I'm so jealous. Elliot is more devious than I thought, and I really like her. She's a good character. Elliot, please don't say things that will lead to misunderstandings. Elliot is my apprentice. She works at the bakery with me. Oh, there isn't anything more? No. Not yet. Excuse me? She knows what she's doing. She sort of knows what she's doing here. I like you, Elliot. It's a shame you're not interested in men. Maybe in another lifetime. I hope so. Ah, looks like the king is about to speak. The ballroom naturally falls silent at the presence of His Majesty. Many of the guests remain where they are in the hall, but a few are confident enough to make their way to King Carl. Carl. Ooh, he's big. He a tall boy. Wow, it's really king. My first time seeing him this close. Thank you for your attendance this evening. As you all know, the reason for tonight's festivities is to celebrate my beautiful daughter's betrothment. Madalena. I've been reading too much and my head is going. Madalena. That's very pretty. That is a beautiful dress, and this art is gorgeous. This makes me think of something I was watching a while ago about art style. When you do something in white, nothing you see is really white. It's always picking up the colors of what's around it. So you never do white clothing as white. You do white clothing as like very, very subtle shades. So this would be very, very subtle shade of blue. My dear daughter, Madalena, I am so proud to see the woman that she has grown up to become. I am sure you're all eagerly excited to hear the name of the lucky man that will marry my daughter. But even I do not know. Whispers and murmurs spread throughout the ballroom. It seems everyone is shocked to hear that the king himself does not know who will marry the princess. Wait, does this mean that people in attendance tonight don't know about the king's fighter? My daughter has rejected every prince, nobleman, and suitor that has ever come seeking her hand. Imagine my surprise when she said she was ready to wed. She has come to me with a single condition. The person she is to marry must defeat a warrior in combat. More chatter spreads amongst the crowd. I'm curious what's going on. The princess was the one who decided to hold the competition for her hand, not the king. Why would she do that? I have not the faintest idea. She's a funny one, isn't she? Luca has a coy smile on his face. Was he planning on competing? It's quite an amusing requirement she has set, but I trust my daughter. I believe something entertaining will come out of this. And so, the first best my chosen fighter in battle will be granted my daughter's hand. Who will take up this challenge and prove they are worthy to marry my daughter? A few guests shuffle around, some approach the front of the crowd, but none are brave enough to take on the challenge. Instead, whispers can be heard. I should have brought my son along. He's a skilled fighter. To think such an opportunity to be tied to the royals would be missed. If I had known beforehand, I would have worn my armor. You're just making excuses. You don't have the guts. They are not wrong to suddenly spring this on a guest without any warning or time to prepare. It is no wonder no one is confident enough to fight. But if that's the case, why even hold this ball to begin with? I will fight for the princess's hand. It's Jane! Did she take the potion? She doesn't look any different. I can't tell either. It was an untested concoction after all, so it most likely did not work. I'm glad to see she's still alive and breathing. And she's not a pig! Yes, that too. Lana? Yes, Elliot? Where did your friend Luca disappear to? I'm not sure. This is a surprise. What is your reason for volunteering? I am not volunteering, Your Highness. I am making a declaration. Any fighter you have chosen or any other man or woman here that wishes to fight for the princess, I will defeat them all. Who does that knight think they are? You have not provided us with a reason, Jane. Jane focuses on the princess. For love, that is my reason. That is your reason? Will you allow it? The king takes a quick glance at the princess. Shit! The small print! Any fighter! Ooh. We should have had our lawyer look at this one. This is... I would not accept any other reason. Very well, we will allow it. This is outrageous. I think it's romantic. It's exciting. I'm rooting for Jane to win. But the king has still not announced who Jane's opponent will be. Whoever it is, Jane is going to kick that butt. De Castro, where are you? I've been here all along, Your Highness. Evening, Jane. You look more dashing than usual. Thank you. Since you've been here from the beginning, you must have heard Jane's proclamation. I did, yes. Are you ready to defend the princess's hand? I already accepted the honor to be your fighter days ago, Your Highness. If I had not come ready tonight, I would have dishonored my name. What? Luke is a king fighter? Isn't he a witch? Would Jane be alright? This seems unfair. Well then, it would seem Jane will be your first challenger for tonight. Jane draws her sword and stands her ground, giving Luca a cold, hard stare. There is no sense of doubt or apprehension in her eyes. Not only first, I'll also be the last. I like Jane. I like the sight of you. Jane is first to charge forward. She closes the gap between her and Luca. She takes several swings at her, but he avoids contact with her blade each time by propelling himself backwards using magic. Heh. I wish more woman would chase after me with such enthusiastically as you are right now, Jane. Once he has gained a safe distance, Luca twists and flicks his wrist. A heavy wave of water is conjured to slam Jane up against the wall. Several spectators are also hit with the water, sending them sliding into each other. Ugh. You should give up, Jane. You can't beat me in a fight. I won't give up so easily. Kick him in the shins! It's pointless. Every time Jane closes the gap between her, Luca uses magic to get away or push her back. Is that all you've got, Jane? This doesn't look good for Jane. Tisk. She clicks her tongue before scanning her surroundings for something, but what? Her eyes lock on a noble. Jane dashes over to him and... She grabs the muffin the noble was holding from his hand and flings it at Luca. She's using our muffins as weapons! They're very Terry Pratchett. Close combat, crumpets! You shouldn't waste food, Jane. It will not be a waste when I defeat you. Jane runs over to a nearby table that is covered with our muffins. She wouldn't. She would. Our muffins! We worked so hard on them! What is happening? Pumpkin seed, vanilla, apple cinnamon, blueberry. This is a food fight! With every flying muffin that comes hurtling at him, Luca takes a step further and further away. He reflects some of the muffins using magic, causing him to fly towards the crowd. This is amazing! I need to see the script for how this was done. This is utter madness. This is getting out of control. Whoa, what happened? Luca just slipped on one of the muffins. A blueberry lavender muffin to be precise. Apt. Wait, hold on. Throwing the last muffin, Luca manages to deflect it using a wave of water, his spark element. Jane must have expected it. She dodges to the side and pulls something up from behind her coat. Another weapon? A shimmer of yellow splashes towards Luca. He sends another wave, but the yellow liquid instead mixes with the conjured water. It has a strong odor. This reeks of peppermint and vanilla in root. Let's throw a sleeping potion at him. Luca pinches his nose to block the stench. Jen stems atop the fallen Luca with the tip of her sword pointed towards his neck. Oh, you've beaten me. I have. Well done, Jane. I have to admit, I am impressed. You've defeated me and earned the right to the princess's hand. Jane lowers her sword and looks towards the king. No. She's looking at the princess. Well, but Eleanor, what do you think? Jane! I told you, did I not? The person who wins this fight will without doubt be my true love, my knight in shining armor. Princess. You'll still only call me by my title, even after you just fought for my hand? Shouldn't you be saying something else right about now? Madalena. Yes, I love you with all my heart, my mind, my body, and my soul. I know, Jane. I love you too. Aww. It's a happy ending. I suppose it is. I'm glad Jane was able to find strength in herself to fight for the one she loves. I'm glad she's getting happy endings she deserves. Mega gay. Me too. Is everything alright, Elliot? I was just thinking. Please, do share. Well, have you ever felt like something wasn't quite right? What do you mean? Like you thought world revolved around you, or that you were the main character in a story, but you're actually just the supporting character in someone else's love story? All my fucking life. And even though you may have thought you had a chance to be with someone, you actually never stood a chance at all? Because it never was your story to begin with? Was it hers? And she had the power to decide how her love story would end all along? Holy fuck. Oh. Holy fuck. That was really good. That was really, really good. So, that was Baked Magic. Today we have played Warm. We have played Dr. Frank's Build-A-Boyfriend. And we have played Baked Magic. 3 wonderful games in their own ways. And honestly, I couldn't think of... I know some of these people. I couldn't think of a better way to... Oh! Lana! Yes, Elliot? Remember this morning you said you would give me a reward for successfully making the muffins? I remember. Do you wish for ask for your reward now? If it's okay. I want to have a dance with you. A dance? Yes, please. Of course, Elliot. I would love to. Yay. Do you know how to dance? Not at all. I was hoping it would be another thing that you could teach me. Oh, Elliot. What am I gonna do with you? That was very good. Elliot, is you flirting? Fuck. Elliot knows exactly what she's doing. So yeah. Thank you, everyone. The Digital Diversity Project has been going on for nearly 2 years now. We started on March in 2018, and we've gone through 2 years of playing games by and about people of the queer community who make these wonderful stories that you just don't get to see anywhere else. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the next year has in store. Thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for being around, for encouragement, for sharing this time with me. Thank you to the people who've made these games. This has been super wonderful, and I am a very happy monster indeed right now. So, yeah, that's where we're at. We have done 30 games this year. These last 3 today have taken us up to 30, which is not bad considering I spent about half this year in mental health crashes and job stuff and all of that. But yeah, I want to thank you all because you're amazing and you make this whole thing worthwhile. Digital Diversity will be back in the new year with so many new games and interviews and all sorts of things, and I'm really keen to get back into it in the new year. Tomorrow I will have up the article for the year in review, and I will have every game that I've streamed this year. Every single game that I've streamed or I've interviewed someone about. There'll be a link and everything to all of those. And so that'll be up tomorrow. Just head to nbkaiju.com. Up the top there. Every single game. 30 of them. Wait, no, more than 30. 30 something of them, because there were at least 1 or 2 in there that I couldn't stream because of their content. But they're up there. And that'll be up tomorrow. So, until next time. This is Kaiju. And this has been the Digital Diversity Project for 2019. Until next time, look after yourselves, look after each other. Remember that you are not alone. Be gay. Have a good life. Look after the people around you. Play games. Make games. And I will see you all next time. I love you all. Bye, folks.